Chemically brought down on its knees with every breath that I breathe. Clench fists and gritting teeth. Tonight the energy flowing in me is waiting for relief. Thunder beneath my feet. I slide you on my life until the dawn. The darkness falls, building and I lose control. I feel it in my bones, sparkling through the shadows. Can I fight the way before me? Coursing through my soul, a road to guide us through the sorrow. Can I calm this storm inside me? This electricity, a part of me that's under pressure. Charged up, my fuse igniting. A sight you wanna see. Flying outside, pointing to the sky. Gonna make the earth shake, 'cause you can't contain me. Voltage bursts through the black of my eyes. Put my finger on the trigger and I'll shock you, baby. Against the odds, letting to until the dawn. The darkness falls, building and I lose control. I feel it in my bones, sparkling through the shadows. Can I fight the way before me? Coursing through my soul, a road to guide us through the sorrow. Can I calm this storm inside me? I feel it in my bones, sparkling through the shadows. Can I fight the way before me? Coursing through my soul, a road to guide us through the sorrow. Can I calm this storm inside?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the last of the semifinals match for the Tilt Champions League, and happy Halloween. I am joined today on the desk with my buddy Calbert, the TFT duo legend, and we're here to watch an explosive match between the Boomer Bombers and the San Antonio Spurs to see who gets to play in our Season 5 finals. Cal, how you doing tonight?
You know, I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I couldn't sum up a better Halloween evening than, potentially seeing Spurg and Blood come back and get a chance to get the back-to-back-to-back championship. Exciting to be here and cast this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that would be quite the trick, but I'm more excited to see the treat that will be Luciv dying 17 times to IREP and Droid in the bot lane. That's really what I'm here for, as I'm sure everyone at home is excited to see exactly what these teams do bust out. We'll be loading into Champ Select here shortly, but I mean, just talking about where the league's at, we have one of our finals teams set based off of last night's contention. Who did I lose to again? Whatever Caridian and I'll take Mid's team is. As you can see, I was super knowledgeable about that match, but we are loading into pick ban here. Expect to see some pretty standard stuff across the board. There goes the Aurelia. Abarn's been a bit of a terror on that all the time. What I'm kind of curious to see is what they do about the Tahm Kench Sentinel lane that IREP and Droid have been rocking with so much efficiency all year.
Yeah, and it's really exciting too because, going into the match against IREP, I was like, oh man, this is a free lane. And then, I think Abarn talked a little bit about it last game, is you just don't know how to play against it. And there we see the Tristana ban, not surprising. Luciv on that Tristana, his last match, I mean, he looked unstoppable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Luciv and his squad were talking about like how do we pick something into that lane that can scale with it, you know? Because Tom Senna, fine in lane, but really excels out of it, like scales your team comp really well with the safety and the protection that both those champions bring, as well as like a definite measure of engagement and disengagement. So do you pick scaling into it? You could, but if you give up any lane pressure like that, IREP's not shy on the Tom Kench. Like he's still gonna go in. So
Yeah.
really, it's what do they come out with?
Yeah, it's really exciting too. I'm kind of confused here about the Seraphine ban. Maybe IREP and Droid have been playing it here,
Mhm.
but it
Oh,
kind of
definitely.
seems uncomfortable for IREP when he has to play a meta champion.
That's fair. I hadn't considered that. If it's actually good, can IREP do well on it? I'm not sure, but I don't know. Mordekaiser are off the board. They don't want to deal with that. Obvious flex between Spurg and Blood. Either of them can play it really well. We focus on the bot lane so far, and there goes the Senna. So they did decide to take that off the board. We can still see. Oh, actually, you can't see the sign without the Senna. So I'm curious to see what comes out of that bot lane. But a real marquee matchup is Blood versus TJ, like the two best top laners in the league, right? Showing up, showing out. Who do you think has that sort of edge? What sort of matchup do you think we're going to see there?
Yeah, I think last time, I put in my 2 cents and I said, TJ just needs to dominate him, show him who's boss, make Blood play scared. But, I think Blood's Achilles heel is he's the most gankable top laner, right? And it's all about it.
Explain.
He
Expand on
doesn't.
that.
I would say maybe he doesn't ward at the best times, and then a lot of the times he's overextended because he's just trying to push his lead. And I
Yeah.
really think Sword, if he gets a good gank early, we're gonna
Mhm.
see a scaling top lane for TJ, and he's just gonna close it out.
Yeah, I mean, Sword has been one of the best ganking junglers in the league this season. I mean, maybe with the exception of Caridian, who's obviously yet to lose a match, because I think he's
Impressive.
undefeated since he came
Yeah.
in. So that's kind of awesome. But I mean, we have the Maokai locked in. I don't know where that's going, honestly. I genuinely think Spear could play that bot, a bit not meta at the moment because of the sapling nerfs, like, I don't know, 10 patches ago or something. But it could absolutely be flexed around between top, jungle, or even support. And then the Ziggs lock in. I'm almost guaranteeing that to be IREP. That's gotta be IREP.
I have to think that's IREP, and I think we might see an AD mid from A-Barn, which is always exciting to see if he can pop off. I mean, sometimes like in Flex 2 games, he'll just run it down on Yasuo, but we'll see what he busts out here. And then we get the Amumu, which also could be a flex. I believe they've flexed this before.
Absolutely could be. I mean, Sword could just take it and play it in its. Well, I don't even want to call it traditional. You see Mumu support more than you see a jungle nowadays.
Right.
But you mentioned A-Barn playing an AD mid. I feel like the two AD mids I would have expected from him were like Irelia and Tristana, and both of those have been banned. I'm more thinking that's a Maokai support now with the Poppy lock-in, because I doubt Blood plays Poppy. Well, I'm sure he can, but I doubt he's going to play Poppy. I think that's just going to be Spurg.
They had mentioned Blood potentially playing Maokai, and that being the only tank that he feels comfortable on, because Maokai's in such a good spot right now with scaling max health for percent damage. I mean, he's just so good throughout all stages of the game, and that sounds like a Blood champion. And we got a Nocturne hover now.
Oh, that'd be super fun. I mean, pick the Kaisa. Definitely has some, lane pressure, sure, scales pretty well. A lot of mobility and even more agency for Elusive on the Kaisa, and the Nocturne gets locked in. I love that, which means we see bot lane and jungle from the side of the Boomer Bombers with what I'm going to call, I don't know, I still think that's going support.
Yeah,
I really think
I don't know. I don't think, is Spirit comfortable on an engaged bot laner?
Well, if you're in the TCL Discord, you've seen him flexing about his Alistar mid, telling him to unban the cow or whatever he was throwing around. Spirits, I mean, he got to Diamond on support. Like, he's not the worst player in the world. It's not that hard to play. Maokai's pretty tanky, not the most forgiving necessarily, because he doesn't have a great way out, but when you're in there, you can definitely be real sticky and stay on top of people. And with that, we got a couple of mid bans. Ryze and Zillion both taken away, both like signature champions for the opposing mid laner, so it makes sense when mid gets to second round here.
Yeah, that's not really surprising seeing those come in, and then I would love to see a top lane ban here. Maybe the Fiora, something that TJ can really scale off of.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got to be thinking there as well. They banned both of what I call Verd's comfort picks and picked the third away in the form of the Ziggs. So are we going to see the guy play Kog'Maw tonight?
There's the Fiora ban.
There's the Fiora ban. Good call. I'd love to see the Cogpom mid that Verd has played to an interesting result many times. But there's okay. That's a lot of AP. It's a lot of AP.
Yep.
So I mean, it'll be a magic damage bot half the map, but I mean, Nocturne still brings AD, and you gotta imagine TJ is gonna pick. Oh, this might be a Gangplank angle.
Yeah, that they have enough lockdown. They have enough CC where Gangplank looks good here.
Yeah, I think Gangplank would be kind of clutch. Wukong, okay, I'm calling that
top,
Wukong top. Yeah, Maokai support locked in. And then what are we gonna round out this draft with? Malzahar, pretty. I think I've seen Verd play that before. I don't even know. We're pretty deep into this champ pool. Freehold.
I want to say Vygar is a comfort pick as well.
He's played Anivia a few times. Brings a bit of safety and like lane or a little bit more. Buys a little bit more time with the egg to let your jungler catch up if you get ganked. But Vex. Oh,
okay.
Not about the Vex. Okay, a bit more dive. Definitely have some backline access with the Vex and the Wukong. Peel from the Maokai and the Poppy, not the worst in the world. Olaf lock in for TJ. Olaf into Wukong. I'll be honest, I have no idea how that matchup goes, but we're gonna find out.
Yeah, as both the casters, have homes in the bot lane. We're really not sure what happens in lane, but we just know that one of them will be really big and kill the other team's bot lane throughout the entire game.
You know what I do know? I know Olaf has a button that makes it so you can't CC him. That's going to make it harder to peel. Again, Kai'Sa has a bit of mobility with her ultimate, right? You can move around, go where you need to, kill somebody if you gotta. Honestly, they could just send the whole team to dive into the back lane. I'm trying to think if there's any great... I guess Poppy stops the Amumu Q if she throws it up right with the Steadfast Presence. I don't think she stops Nocturne, but she would stop the Azir from dashing around. So yeah, Nocturne's unstoppable during his ult, right? Maybe? Yeah, that sounds right. Somebody in chat will tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm almost positive.
Yeah. So you're
as
gonna
somebody
lock down
who has
Azir.
like 70 ranked Nocturne games, I think that's
right.
the interaction. Yeah,
that's right. I forgot when you weren't carrying me on Jhin, you played Nocturne jungle. My bad.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So we got the comps locked in. We got to kill 3 minutes for the spectator delay. Tell me, whose comp do you like better, knowing the players and the positions that they're locked into?
I really like the bot lane from Spurg's team, and mainly because I like seeing Elusive on a high skill cap champion. I think early on in the season he was maybe a little withdrawn from like letting loose and showing his potential, and I think with the last games with Tristana and just playing champions where he has mobility, he can make plays. We'll see a lot out of him, and that sucks because I really wish he would die 100 times in the game.
That's not very nice.
But I'm more interested to say I'm more interested to see how Spirit does on the Maokai. If they've been practicing it, how it's going to be in lane. And then from A-Barn's team, the Ziggs bot lane, I feel like that's too much AP that they have on their team.
Yeah, but there's no like super heavy tank that's like the only person who's going to be building straight tank is the Maokai. Like even Poppy goes Divine Sunder nowadays, like not a Sunfire or anything. So, oh my gosh, somebody just bet like 2,000 channel points on San Antonio Spurs, 20,000 channel points on San Antonio Spurs to win. Curious who wanted to throw their money away like that. And with that, I gave away my bias. I really think that Swordmaster on this Nocturne is going to farm some champions. If Kai'Sa or if Elusive and Spirit aren't careful, when 6 gets hit by Nocturne, and if they're like half health at all from the Ziggs poke, they're gonna just be destroyed. And one gank there can bust the entire thing right open. I mean, Ziggs pushes towers really well with the satchel charge, right? So I think they have a very straightforward comp to execute. And in TCL, sometimes that's just all you need, right? Like no need to get fancy and outplay your opponents on every single level. Sometimes just like, let's do what our champions do, get ahead and snowball that into a victory.
Yeah, sometimes I think A-Barn's is the one that, gives the TED talk on, just play Classic League. You don't need to think too hard. You just, you play the easy game. You might lose in the beginning, you might lose in the middle, but you win at the end. And I think his team's really shown that over the regular season.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Wukong right now, and I'm trying to think of like how he functioned in this fight, or how he's going to function. Because like, he's not going to peel off the Olaf and the Nocturne. Like that's not what the champion wants to be doing. So you got to get on like the Azir and the Ziggs, and that's going to be kind of difficult to do with the Amumu sitting on your face.
Yeah, I think Wukong's main job is just going to be to pull out the Azir ult for Peel instead of
Mhm.
using it to really get the good position on Kai'Sa or Vex. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to see Wukong kind of go in and trade that.
Yeah, I mean, Control showed us last night what Vex can do as a champion, even from behind. Like the long range alt engage, if you have anything to follow that up with, like the Kai'Sa, you hit the fear, you get the passive stack, alt in, like blow up a target. Typically, A-Barn's teams, well, I guess it's Swordmaster's team, but teams that A-Barn are on have really decent macro compared to the rest league. Like, as you said, the man advocates for simple League of Legends. Just play the game as it's in front of you. They have very common sense rotations and tend to do things pretty well. But yeah, I mean, we're loading to the game now. We'll see what happens. We do have Blood without Flash. He has Ghost Teleport on the Wukong in the top lane.
Yeah, that's pretty
thoughts about the
interesting here.
summoner picks? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Blood's setting himself up to grab that jungler pressure, and it's going to be really exciting to see, because I feel like if Olaf, picks up a kill, he's going to lose so much farm. Blood's going to lose so much farm.
Yeah, no
it looks like
how that
we're
goes.
Seeing
a little J-turn top lane.
A J-turn top lane. Blood without that flash. We're probably going to see the flash of Mumukyu right here.
I don't even think he needs to flash. Mumukyu is dummy long. Throw it. Hit it, you bitch. I mean, good sir. Sorry, that's our one cuss for the night. I used it up too early. I was gonna use it to flame Lucid later. All good. I was informed by our producer. Shout out to Music for producing tonight. What a homie. Appreciate it. That our good commissioner and in-team mid laner Abron will find me for any more. So, nothing came from that invade. Did get some early vision down. That blue buff warded up by both sides. Looks to be a mirrored bot side start from both teams. As the Nocturne main out of the two of us, what's Nocturne's really thing here? Is it just going to be clear to 6? Where's he going to have pressure for ganks, if at all?
Yeah, so here, Nocturne actually wins this jungle matchup one-on-one, especially depending on what he can block from the Poppy. So you just want to clear fast, get up to your top, and then you want to contest that top scuttle, look for a fight, get top scuttle, and then really set the tempo of the game and make that Poppy play off of your plays. So hopefully we see that here with Swordmaster. He looks super comfortable on this Nocturne.
Yeah, I mean, not the healthiest clear in the world. Down to half health off the blue buff. What the Amumu wasn't there to help out, which slowed it down a tiny bit. We're going already halfway through Scruggs. But I mean, again, like I said, looking in this bot lane, regardless of the level 6 Nocturne gank thing, okay, a little bit of action as we get going here. Droid just trading onto Spirit. Getting a little poke, but Spirit's going to be plenty tanky to heal that up. Or has plenty of sustain to heal that up. Sorry. If they don't get poked out, I don't really see how this bot lane's ever in threat. Like, Luciv should have a pretty easy time, especially with that cleanse, avoiding dying.
Yeah, that's kind of what you do when you pick the AP bot laner who just sits there and farms. You just play passively. You wait for ganks. You poke them down a little bit, but you don't aim for Spirit in this matchup. You aim for the Kai'Sa.
Yeah. Also, I just realized that Droid missed the leash there because he forgot to buy items. That's absolutely what you want to see from your support. Your 5-season veteran support in the the semifinal round of playoffs, but all good, never punished. Nocturne and Poppy both on their top buffs at the moment. We'll see if we get a scuffle over the scuttle. But yeah, at the moment, people just farming out. As you said, Nocturne and Poppy both full cleared up to their buffs. It looks like Nox gonna be looking towards the top lane here. Or Poppy got spot on the ward, so he knows it's a free gank.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about, with Blood. Like I said, he's the most gankable top laner. First Blood's coming in. No flash on that. And that's what's so strong about that Nocturne is he can just run in there. He's got move speed, he's got CC.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously here, take some jungle, it looks like.
Pulled it off. Traded both flashes, and okay, I guess I was just completely wrong. Spirit of Fate must have been caught out on the wave or something and let Ziggs land his whole combo on him. Maybe he was already half health. Not sure. Was watching the top lane action. But yeah, that's 2 kills down in the first 4 minutes of the game over to the Boomer Bombers.
Yeah, and I'd love to see Nocturne come down and get that bot scuttle, and then go down to Spurg's Krugs and look for a backdoor gank on that bot lane. I think I think that would get in Lucive's head. And here we have Spurg.
No flash on the Olaf here. Gonna be a rough spot for him.
It's slow.
Gonna stay away from those walls.
Looking for a flash here from
the angle.
Spurg. There it is.
There it is, and Blood gets the return kill. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm on play-by-play tonight. I'm supposed to be talking during that. My bad, everybody. We're doing our best over here on the production side. Yeah, so early death from Spirit of Fate in the 2v2 bot lane. Again, not really sure what happened there, but Spirit was caught out a few times last week, so again, maybe just walked forward a little bit too far. Possibly sat to charge into the tower. I'm going to keep speculating until I know. Nocturne playing around the bot side has a couple of camps he can pick up, but with First Dragon spawning here in about 5 seconds, players might make their way down there and look for that early objective. Some teams definitely prio drag more than others, so curious to see what sort of attempts they make. Ocean Drake, obviously, great early Drake to get that lane sustain going, you know? And Nocturne definitely is looking pretty good as he's on his way to 6 when he really hits that spike.
Yeah, so, Nocturne shows, his jungle's coming up. He's going to farm. He's going to farm up to top. Olaf's got the lane in a great spot. I know we were over on that for just a second there, but he's got the lane frozen, so Blood's going to have to overextend here to even get XP.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be really interesting because Nocturne's going to be pathing them.
That's a great call out. Some players in this league don't seem to know what a freeze is. I think historically that's a Blood meme, that the guy just never freezes, always pushes, which goes to what you were saying about him being just eminently gankable, right? And we got a pause. Who would ever pause a League of Legends game? Calvert, tell me that.
Yeah, and I'll jump in here and give my analysis real quick. Pauses are not just used to stop the game. They're also used to get into your opponent's head. Especially when you're in a skirmish, especially when you're in a 2v2 fight and you have 2 people dead to rights. Why not pause the game and argue about if they're going to die or not?
For like
so
a
what
half
that
hour.
Does, yeah, so what that does, not only do you get a 25-minute pause, but you also get to tilt the other team. And here we go. We're unpausing. We're back on the rift.
So you know what? I may disagree with Bully about some things now and then, but all I want to know is if if the kills were really that free, why couldn't we have just fought it out?
Yeah, and that's really interesting.
This is just a spectator thing that happens when pauses happen. We'll be back into it in a second, I think. Yeah, probably. I don't know. Stream frozen. We can keep talking about pause drama. Okay,
here we go. We are back. All right, so here's Blood thinking, you know what? I'm gonna win this fight. I'm gonna get the 1v1. And guess what? Surprise, surprise. It's not a 1v1. There's Sword.
Punishes, yeah. Great job from Sword coming up there for the free kill. Poppy still clearing her jungle. Not Nocturne. Sorry, Olaf did hit 6 there. So again, a rough spot for Blood. Down 20 farm at 6.5 minutes. Not where you really want to be. Well, I don't think anybody wants to be 2 deaths at 6 minutes, but obvious one there. Poppy not in a position to respond to Dragon, I guess is more of where I was going there. Farming the top side of the map, can't do anything about that. Take advantage of the showing top. So
we know Nocturne's up there too.
Mm-hmm.
So with the Poppy being able to farm, it's almost free for her. And it looks like they're setting up for a gank mid.
Yeah, Azir's wrapping.
They don't quite
around
know that A-Barn's not there.
No, I mean, it looked like Poppy was hanging out to try to do some shenanigans behind the scene, but everyone's like, hey, I hit 6, they're pushing up island, let's do anything. But playing real respectful, a little shuffle over the wall. Poppy, I mean, he's not going to get anything if he runs to the lane. Like, the wave's pushing. Everyone has no reason to walk up, even with the shuffle down. Very safe, and Nocturne hit 6. So, yeah, again, let's look for that gank bot lane and see what happens.
So this is what feels bad right here, is there's nothing that Blood can do in a 1v1 fight. And it looks like TJ's going to ego a trade over.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a 1v1 fight, though. Blood buying time with the ult, baiting out TJ's ult. Poppy walks up and cleans it, but
again,
again,
see a Drake here.
In position to start the Drake up. Exactly. There's that Ocean Drake starting up at 8 minutes, almost 8 minutes. Should be a pretty free take. I don't think there's any world in which this gets contested. Vex hasn't moved yet. Bot lane wasting time. Well, I guess they don't need to push in, but yeah, free take for red side. Boom and Bombers pick up that first Drake, have a 1-kill lead. A lot of drama in the top lane, as we expected from the, I like what you said, egos on these players, but Yeah, Lucid and Spirit looking pretty aggressive. Spirit doesn't have 6 yet, though. Neither does Droid. So neither of them have their big AoE CC2 fight ults.
I'd like to see... There's the Nocturne.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a Nocturne ult, so it goes in. Sword doing his best to kill down Spirit. Droid having to go out a little bit, but they do end up getting the kill. Poppy ults out the Nocturne, but nothing to come of it as they have nothing left to get anything on the back end. And yeah, successful Nocturne ult. They pick up the kill on Spirit of Fate and walk away from that one with a drag and another kill.
That's just another, big play for Sword right there. Knowing when to use your ult. In the beginning of the game, that Nocturne ult has such a long cooldown. And what I really like to see that's different on his Nocturne is going the blue smite. And it's kind of interesting because most Nocturnes, they'll go red smite if they're going to go lethal tempo. And here we're not seeing that. We're seeing the increased slow and the lockdown. So I'm excited to see how that's going to scale in the late game.
I guess, is that just like solo queue mentality versus 5v5 thought?
That is,
yeah. Your team time to catch up versus trying to get all the kills yourself and solo carry?
Absolutely.
Okay. I mean, as you said, Nocturne all pretty long cooldown, but I mean, it's over halfway back up now. Go up, get his red, his Krugs, maybe look for the repeat top lane. Again, Blood without Flash, very vulnerable to these Nocturne and Olaf ganks. Looks like TJ's going in for some early trading. How much help is he going to need from Nocturne? I'm not sure, but Blood is in a rough state with this lane. Down 20 farm and a kill.
Blood starting that Sheen, it's really interesting because what you want to do is dash in, Q, make your opponent think about it, and he's not getting that type of trading.
Yeah, it looks like we might have a scuffle here. Spurg walking straight into Spirit, Sword walking straight into Spurg. Very, very low. Luckily, Spirit did hit 6 there. Big Moomerwolf about to come out. If he ever pops it. Does he not have it? Oh, he didn't have it. He used it earlier, sorry. Abarn picking up a kill. TJ's still going. He could definitely get 1 or 2 more here. Oh, Spirit, I don't know if that's what you wanted. And yeah, just clean kills. Blood on the TP, but late. Nothing going to come of that. I think 3 kills over to the side of the Boomer Bombers, extending that to a 7-2 kill lead. 3k gold at 10.5 minutes. And nope, looks like they're not going to stick around for the Herald play. Just going to take their money that they earn, go spend it, and get a bit more pressure on the map with their upgraded inventories.
Yeah, they have a lot of gold to spend, and I feel like a lot of teams get into trouble when they see stuff on the map and they get greedy. They're like, you know what, we can take this, we can take that, and spend your gold and scale. Be able to contest whatever you want just because you have items.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the 0-3-0 start out of Spirit on the Maokai, not the best start for a support in this league, but also, not the worst. I'm sure I've been hit harder than that many times in my life. As you said, we're seeing a lot of different styles. Seen a lot of karma out of the guy. Not his traditional champion. Curious to see what he does with it through the game and if they have any adjustments going into game 2. But again, this game's far from over. This is League of Legends, and it's not professional. Anyone can win at any point in time. Plenty of League left to be played. And yeah, more posturings over here at the Herald. Spurg, don't get caught out again, my guy.
Yeah, and I feel like Spurg's getting a little too close for comfort here. Leave the Olaf alone.
Yeah, Olaf's just going to run him down. Sword's going to have plenty of time to catch up. Got the little things. Ulted him out. Sword's a little tighter now. Spell shield up for the next turn, but guess what? TJ didn't get knocked that far away. He's back in this. Boys, you have no business here. Abarn looking for a shuffle maybe. Has his ult and flash up, but nope. Decides not to go for the scoop. Just going to walk back. Use the pressure on the jungler. Take the Herald. What do you think they should do with that Herald when they get it?
I honestly would like to see it snowball top more and just make this game unplayable for Wukong. He's so weak right now that if he goes in, they're just kind of like, it's a Wukong out. Like, who cares, right? He doesn't have his mythic. He's not close to it. He doesn't have damage. Just keep pushing that in. Fair,
the only mythic we do see on the map right now is in the jungle. Blood was able to catch up a little bit of farm. So, I mean, he's not that far behind. Actually has an EXP lead. Obviously, TJ's going to have a very, very straightforward game plan from here, but Blood's not as out of it. Those 2 kills to set TJ a bit more behind did help out. Obviously, or not obvious, but it looks like he is setting up another freeze. Again, roughly in position for Blood. What's he going to do there? But,
he's right now, I imagine the comms are Blood telling Spurg he needs to come top, otherwise he's going to be out of the game. I'd imagine Verd right now is pretty upset because for a while he was holding his own.
Mm-hmm.
Abarn and him were farming, and then all of a sudden you go to help your jungler, and lo and behold, your opponent gets a kill and assist, and they're up 30-40 farm.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to use that pressure, just start up the dragon here. TPs are not unleashed for another minute, so it's likely you might have the 4v5. Blood is coming in here. Droid might be caught out if he wants to just go. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Spirit with the ult. It's gonna speed up. Ziggs Bomb coming in, missing almost everything. Droid looks like he should drop. Blood very, very low with no cooldowns left. IREP might snipe him out here. Gets the sidestep. He is out of this fight, though, and TJ is hammering the turret top lane. With Blood that far out and everybody else still alive, I don't know if they have... Or I'm sure they don't have the ability to contest this dragon anymore from blue side. I mean, they can stick around, but I don't think there's a drag take here for the next minute or so.
Yeah, and that's what's really nice about that Ziggs is he can just keep going as long as he's got mana.
Okay, Spurg and Luciv managed to pick off IREP. Gets caught into the wall right there. Did Luciv... No, didn't even have to ult. Just got it picked off, or got it stacked up. And with that 5 proc passive, blows him up. I guess I was wrong. It's been a minute, and they're still on the Drake. As you were saying, Ziggs has a lot of poke. Wasn't quite playing at the range that it needed to there. Spirit still has the Herald. That's good for another, minute and a half? Curious, or we'll see what he ends up doing with that. But that's a pretty big Drake take when you're feeling behind, which I'm sure they are. I mean, they're down 5k gold at 14 minutes.
Yeah, and you said Spirit's got the Herald. Mm-hmm. Sword's got the Herald.
There's too many. There's too many S's. There's too many S's.
Yeah, and what's exciting about that too is we can see the Nocturne ult come in, pick up a kill, and then when that Herald gets dropped, I mean that's tower right there. So.
Yeah, you definitely could, but I kind of like, as much as I hate to agree with Fruge, because I disagree fundamentally with his outlook on life, it would be a pretty good play just to go bot, unlock them, let Ziggs start roaming off the map and just keeping the pressure up. Like, you don't need to help TJ out with this Herald anymore. Like, he had so much free time on that turret. He's gonna get it eventually just by keeping those waves crashed in. Yep, and there it is. Well, don't want to say it, but Fruge was right. Doesn't even have to use the Herald charge because of the Ziggs satchel. They will get this on to tier 2.
We might see a tier 2 here.
Yeah, I mean, they have 3 members here. I don't think they're going to dive. There's no poke down onto the bot lane, so nothing happening there. But they will get the charge off at least. I don't think it's going to be quite low enough. Yeah, that's not low enough for Satchel.
You got Ziggs here. You got Ziggs Satchel here, so...
Yeah, he's not been leveling.
Couple autos away.
He needs like 2 more autos, and they're not going to let him get it if they're thinking about that, which they definitely should be. Playing the mid lane, though. TP coming in from the Olaf. Is Blood. Blood can't respond. We saw him TP to the turret with that last play. Oh, and Spurg misses the ult. Or he got Olaf blocked. I'm not sure. One of the two happened. Bird in a rough spot now. You're stuck between the Olaf. Gonna have to flash out. TJ's gonna take that. Oh, he's not gonna take that over? Oh, come on, TJ. You could have gone for that. Coward. It's fine. Whatever. They get the tower in the bot lane, the charge off onto the tier 2, and a kill in the mid lane off of a TP respawn to a gank attempt. Again, just really good heads-up plays by the Boomer Bombers, letting them keep this lead and grow it a little bit as this game progresses.
Yeah, we are, we're up to a 5.6k gold lead right now. And yeah, I feel like this tower is going to go down here. They're backing off. They don't know where Spurg's at.
I mean, he's still playing topside with all this going on in the bot lane. Bot's got to feel like they're on a bit of an island, but Poppy's jungle is just getting ravaged right now. I think Sword took away the blue. He's about to face check into the, but can they kill him? That's the level of an Olaf. Do manage to bounce him back. Got that blue smite. Gonna chase him down and eventually get him, I have to imagine. Okay, great. Blood picks up the kill on TJ, helps him out a little bit, but the fight in the bot lane, Luciv pretty out of it. And Nocturne gonna come in top. Nocturne goes top with A-Barn. Gonna chase down Blood here. Spurg looks like he's gonna get out, but no. Vex rotating up from the mid, completely fine there. Spirit does drop in the bot, go into 0-4, and with that should absolutely be the turret drop that you were talking about. Ziggs continuing the push, continuing the pressure. They're gonna have a pretty penny in their pocket after that push with the Herald. 2 turrets down before they had to base. And with that, just rotate it mid and keep cracking it open, right? I mean, that's the only outer turret left standing. As you said, a couple of passive autos from Ziggs, and that's going to drop too.
Yeah, and if I'm Luciv right now, I'm furious because it's, guys, just let me get another item, let me scale up. I can really do some damage here, and it's just constant pressure all over the map. And I'm not seeing a break anytime soon for him.
Play onto A-Barn. Spurg looking for a wall. Just lets him walk past. Okay, good twisting advance from that. But the entire team is coming. You got to do this fast and get out. Do get the shutdown. Goes over to the Poppy. Spurg, I don't think you want this anymore, buddy. You guys used a lot there. nothing much more to be had. With the Olaf walking up, I don't know if Aggressive are going to be able to be in this mid lane in the 4v4 unless Blood comes back in. Does not have his ult up. Looking across the board, not a ton of important ults, period, beyond the Olaf and the Poppy. But yeah, I mean, if I agree Luce is probably upset about that. He's like, give me time to scale, but even more than that, like, stop feeding the people. The Poppy goes in onto TJ. TJ ults immediately, looking to get something. Luce trying his best to fight in this. They do get the kill onto Spurg. TJ drops as well. Twisted, or the ult from everyone. I don't know, man. Play-by-play is hard. Luciv gets the kill, but he probably dies for it. Does get out. Abarn's here. He's going to drop that. Verd, you need to back up a lot further. And with that, I think it's going to be a 2 for 4 when all is said and done. Yeah, I guess you could call it 3 because he got the Abarn pick and like that extended play. But either way, 4 for 3 is not good math for the team, even when you're behind. I like them continue to look for plays. Like they get the shutdown onto Abarn. Sadly, it went over to the Poppy. So, you know, gold not necessarily in the correct pockets. Lucid did pick one up on that, but I don't know.
And here, too, it looks like, you know, they get the mid tower. They have positioning for drag. You lost more than just four deaths there, right?
Yeah.
You know, you lost positioning, you lost control, you lost a lot more than just 4 teammates.
Yeah, I mean, League of Legends is easy when all you're thinking about is kill the other team, but as you say, presence on the map is also something that needs to be considered. Something that my team focused on a lot this season, when I say focused on, I mean struggled with, was like managing to knock down outer turrets, because the map just feels so oppressive when they have all 3 of their outers up and your waves are just constantly pushing in. Just from a vision perspective, right? Like you feel like you can never walk into like past. You definitely can't walk past the river, and even your jungle feels sketchy sometimes just because of how far forward they're able to push.
And we're seeing pings on Baron. It looks like we're contesting vision. You know, a lot of people know this. I was a support main. One of the things that sucks is when you're a support and you don't get any security when you go ward.
Bro, don't I know it? Spirit would probably say that's why he died like 17 times last series. It could have just been the times he chose to ward, but yeah.
That's something that you need to advocate for, though. And, you know, a lot of the times you see supports
are people
like,
too.
I'm going to go ward, and then
they
get picked, and the casters are just like, wow, that support's so out of position. But it's like, you know, do you want to lose all the objectives, or do you want to get vision and die? It's hard. It's a hard game to play.
Yeah, and then like you don't have vision, your team blames you, or they just like ping like go get wards on Baron, and you're like, okay, I'll go trade my life for a ward on Baron if that's what you really want. They have a pink in the pit, but it's fine. I got you. Don't worry.
And like Bilbo Baggins, you're off on an adventure, hoping that you don't die.
Yeah, but without the company to accompany you.
Exactly.
Okay, definitely. So Droid looking for the pick on Verd. Sword doesn't his thing. Oh, going back in, going for the 3-man ult. Nope, only hit 1 there. Onto Luciv. Luciv finding this though. Spurg buying some time. Spirit coming over. Spurg dropping really low. Blood in the backline. Sword getting the execute on the Poppy. And TJ just running them down over here.
It's a terrifying ult.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm pretty sure the rest of their team is dead, so it's kind of, yeah, it's just the 2 here, and he's gonna die as well. 4 for 1, or 5 for 1 in that team fight. Jungler does drop, but you probably are gonna be okay here. TJ can just life tank that Baron. I mean, 10 seconds on the nearest spawn from Poppy. Definitely not going to get there in time. That is a Baron take at 21 minutes with 2 Drakes under their belt. Next one, probably not spawning here for another 2 minutes or so. But with that, that's going to set up a pretty effective siege, however they choose to do it. Probably just like a 3-1 with Nocturne not in a lane, so he feels like he can gank anywhere he wants, you know? And just keep the pressure on until the next Drake spawns. See if you can knock down a tier 2 or tier 1.
Yeah, you know, and it's... At this point, it's kind of doomed for Spurg's team. I mean, you're down 11k gold. The enemy team has Baron. They're up 1 dragon. They're at 2. Mm-hmm. What do you think their win con is if they have one here?
I mean, you got to get picks and take them in the rotation. That's just really difficult against this team because of the mobility of the Nocturne, right? And the safety that the Ziggs allows them to play. Okay, Spirit really far forward here. Droid choosing not to go in on that, just wants to pressure them out. Again, choking them from their own jungle. Not a ton of choices they have. But yeah, I mean, just setting up the split here. Push the waves, keep them Baroned up, disappear into the jungle, take what you can, and just choke them out. Can we get a dragon timer, Mr. Producer, sir? I mean, it's more than a minute. I guess that's enough. Letting the cannon do work on the mid lane. In terms of win con, yeah, I mean, you got to try to catch a pick on these rotations. It's just going to be pretty difficult. I mean, Spirit's going for it here with the ult in the mid lane, but catches the Azir with the end of it. They can't do anything with the Azir turret right there. Nothing comes of that one. Big ult down for them. Yeah, IREP ult in over the top. They're going to take this with the satchel charge. One more auto. Boom, there it goes. And now they're pushing onto the base, trying to get those inhib turrets down with this Baron.
There's Olaf in the bot lane, just breaking it open.
Yeah, I mean, trying to solo Blood under turret. Blood's really low here. Sword just ults in and finishes. Maybe ambitious staying there to ult with your clone when you know that they can rotate like that. And now they have a 4v5 push in the bot lane with Baron.
And look at that damage on that cleaver that Olaf is throwing out.
That's
no joke.
Big damage from Bird. Is it going to be enough? The elusive jump straight in off of that and dies.
So there's
you got to look for
pick.
plays, but I don't know if that's the play you want.
Yeah, at this point, you're just trying to throw your shoes, right? You got nothing left. The call's made. Hey, let's try to pick one up here if we can, and just let it go down. Go into game 2.
Well, you got to preserve mentals for sure. It looks like they will push for the end. I mean, they have 10 seconds left on most of the team. And that's game 1 for you boys. I don't think they can defend it. They're not up to do it. And they're looking to see what he can, but TJ just kills him again. I mean, I don't know.
I think that interaction right there with Blood dying to TJ is just kind of how the lane went.
Yeah, we end that game with a 15k gold difference at 24 minutes. That is a convincing game 1 from the undefeated Boomer Bombers to start this best of 5 off. Okay, so with that, I mean, just quick recap of the game. We got Spirit 075 on the Maokai, on the tank engage support that Luce's been begging his team to give him all season. I mean, Luce played fine, but wasn't really able to do any team fighting through the early to mid game, and in the end, he was just too far behind the rest of the curve because they had, so many kills and objectives. So what do you think they did wrong that game, and how do they bounce back for game 2?
Yeah, I think Spurg needs to match the tempo of Sword and say, I'm going to put all my eggs in the Blood basket, because Sword right there, I don't think we saw a single gank onto another lane up until Sword was like level 7. And then level 7, he ulted bot, and I think he killed Spirit, and there was a 3v3 fight.
Yeah.
Other than that, he camped top lane, and it showed. TJ in fights just ran down whoever he wanted to kill, sometimes 2 people at once.
We talked a lot about the impact that TJ and Sword had with their mid-game team fighting, but IREP just doing what Ziggs does, pumping out the damage. Can we go back to the scoreboard real fast? What were the final KDAs across the board? I want to see how many he managed to pick up, if any. Yeah, I mean, 7-1. Okay, I apologize for not talking about you more, IREP. You had a really good game on the Ziggs. It turns out you're not just a Scion Tahm Kench 2 trick. You can also play Ziggs AD carry. Who would have thought? Unconventional, last picked AD carry, carrying his team through the semifinals. With that, we will go to break and be back for game 2 in a minute. Stay tuned, everybody. Okay, everybody, welcome back. After what I believe to be the shortest ever intermission between games, in these best of fives, we got to try to keep them rolling. I am back on the desk. I am Rudy, being joined by my buddy, my TFT double up partner, Calbert, here to bring you the most exciting league content you've ever seen. I mean, what other league tournaments are going on right now? What else you got to watch?
Yeah, and I am dangerously out of breath from sprinting to let my dog out with that
Yeah,
1
no
minute,
worries.
45-second break that we got.
It's okay. We're all doing our best out here. We appreciate everyone being here. So I mean, I don't know. Give me your thoughts on game one. Or not even thoughts on game one. What do you do differently here in game two?
Yeah, so if I'm A Barnes' team, I think I leave TJ on an island and I switch it to I'm going to get A Barn ahead, because A Barn with almost no help, no anything, ended up being a monumental portion of their damage and their team comp there.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's easy to say what you do even better if you're on the team that was up 15K when the game ended at 24 minutes. What do you do if you're on the side of San Antonio Spurs to make sure that doesn't happen?
The first thing I would do is I would put Spirit on a champion that he is comfortable on.
Okay. So
because that did not look comfortable. Yeah, that looked uncomfortable. And to do that, though, Spurg or Blood, they have to eat the tank position. And I know it's not either of their favorites. I think Spurg just came off a series where he played Sejuani 3 times.
Yeah. Didn't they win that series, though? Didn't they 3-0 that?
Yeah, absolutely they did. Yeah, it was a 3-0. He played Sejuani all 3 games. But I don't think it was fun. I don't think that was fun for Spurg.
Dude, relax. This is League of Legends. We're not here trying to have fun.
I thought this was a beer league.
Oh, yeah. You see, that's why my team lost. Every time we'd lose a game, we'd take a couple shots, as to punish ourselves, and that's why we didn't get to game 4 ever.
Is that what happened to Bully's gameplay? Because it progressively got more and more sloppy.
No, the man just has a very vivid imagination. He saw the Nexus explode way before it actually did. No. Going into this, we see bans coming through, pretty consistent with game 1. It looks like teams are on the same side as well. I think it was the Boomer Bombers pick game 1, so they chose red, and it looks like San Antonio Spurs are fine to take blue. Same bans coming through. As you said, I didn't love the Maokai. I don't think it brought what they really wanted to the team. It's just
it brought nothing to the team.
Yeah, I was about to say, what does the team want? But they want something. I think that's fair. I try not to flame too much on Cass, but the 07 performance, not Spirit's best showing.
I mean, it's hard when, pre-game we say, he was Diamond, he made it up to Diamond, and then, you play the Maokai, who was less tanky than the 800 HP Vex at the end of the game. I mean, when you...
I guess they were scared of the Ziggs getting first picked away, so they banned it out. What was that ban last game? I don't even remember. Somebody from chat, let me know. What was it? Was it a Verd champ? I don't know. We'll figure it out later. So getting into this, what do you do to adjust? Put Spirit on something more comfortable, and I think Spurg's got to spend some time bot lane.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too. I honestly, though, it's hard because wherever Spurg goes, that's who he's putting his eggs in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he tried it. He played a very reactive game into the Nocturne. I think it's fair to say.
You have to, though. When you're playing from behind in jungle and you're playing where you can't duel the other jungler, you're setting up for counter ganks, and then
he was playing reactive from the get-go. I'm not saying he did poorly. It's just he kept trying to help Blood not fall that far behind, and he did a decent job. They got a couple of kills on TJ, but it didn't end up mattering because the Nocturne spent time everywhere. He ganked. Well, actually, I don't even know if he ganked mid really, but he went bots.
And what had happened was the Nocturne got the first kill onto TJ. Spurg counter gained, got Blood a kill. Sword came top again, got TJ another kill, and then Spurg counter gained and got Blood a kill. The main thing that happened was Spurg got caught out in mid lane, and they ended up losing 3 kills. And then that led to the Dragon, that led to Nocturne ulting and killing whoever he wanted.
Yeah.
And I think Spurg needs to play a tank here.
We do see quite the classic combo from the bot lane. The Mumu MF, I rep on an actual AD carry. He's a man of many talents. He can play most champions, just don't ask him to play them traditionally. I wouldn't be surprised if he went Emax Emax MF and just went for the poke lane just because you never know what you're going to get from that guy. But the Caitlyn Karma locked in, definitely a lane with a lot of presence. I imagine they're going to be playing pretty far forward, but I mean that makes you pretty susceptible to both ganks and just the Amumu MF combo.
Yeah, and there's the Sejuani pick, and honestly, with that Sejuani pick coming in, that is what I expected. You have the Karma, you have the Caitlyn in the bot lane. Now the Sejuani's there to lock people down. Caitlyn and Karma, they're hard to gank unless you can get on top of them. I'd like to see a jungler here with some sort of dash or engage ability.
Yeah, I mean, they picked the Rise. Don't want it to get banned out again. Abarn's doing his best to prove that nobody's ever seen him and Faker in the same room at the same time. I mean, Faker is in NA right now, giving people a show on the Rise at World, so doing his best to cosplay on this Halloween Eve.
What's Faker in the United States?
Worlds are in like Georgia or something, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're in NA this year. There's no NA teams in them, but they're in NA.
Really?
I think so. Somebody in chat can yell at me if I'm stupid and wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and we see the Lux Darius banned out as well as the Kane and I don't know, probably Vi. I'd say Vi would be pretty great here. Gives you like pretty easy access to the backline with that unstoppable ult. Nope, take the Nocturne away. It looked pretty scary game one. So maybe they grab the Vi right here and leave TJ the counter pick. Nope, lock in Trundle. You know, great counter to Sejuani. Classic matchup. Take away those tank stats, especially before the Sejuani passive procs. Get that like Iceborne armor or whatever it is. And yeah, what do you think about that jungle pick from the Swordmaster? Although it could be flex top, theoretically.
Yeah, I like the Trundle pick. I think it's going to be good in the dueling, objective taking. I'll be curious to see, though, in team fights. And here it looks like we have the Kog'Maw getting locked in for the Ancient One.
That's right. It was Zillion that was banned last time. Thank you, Fruge. They were baiting the Zillion pick by leaving it up. That is Verd's. I think he had a win, like 100% win rate on that champion through like 3 seasons of TCL. Not that he played it every game or anything, but when he got it, he looked great on it. But nope, it is the Kog'Maw lock-in. He is going to play at range and just do his best to stay away from everything that's going to be happening with the Trundle and the Amumu.
Yeah, and I'm curious what we're going to see top here. I'd love to see the Quinn come in. I don't think we're going to get it.
No chance he plays Quinn, right?
I've seen some weirder things. And there's the Camille pick.
Okay, I hate this champion. I absolutely hate Camille. Just because I think it's a ridiculously strong champion, especially when you have somebody competent playing, which as much as I think TJ is boosted and terrible at everything he's ever done, especially League of Legends, he's somewhat competent at top lane. It just does a ridiculous amount of true damage. Like the lockdown, the damage, the mobility. It's an all-in-one package, you know?
Yeah, and you know, I'm kind of excited because part of me thinks that maybe you don't know exactly what Camille does. So this could be exciting. So you can
You think I don't know what Camille does? Which part of her kit? Do you want me to describe it all to you? Her passive shield, her double procking Q. I actually don't know what her W does, but her E is the dash thingy. What does? Okay. Oh no, it's the leg sweep. It's the leg sweep. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, the leg sweep.
Yeah, easy. Not
the
even
cone,
hard.
the forward cone that she can use while moving. Yeah.
Don't know what Camille does.
I'm sorry, man. I thought you were
flamed by my caster with me in the booth. It's fine, boys. I'm already out of the competition. We don't have to be mean to each other anymore.
And, you know, what I'm excited to see, too, is, you know, Spurg's team here actually has the Dragonmancer buff with Karma and Set on the same team. So I'll be excited. It'll be exciting to see who that goes on.
Yeah, I mean, you got to put the Dragonmancer buff on Karma, obviously. Karma reroll, OP. Set reroll is like 2 months ago. That's before the mid-season update or the mid-season set.
You're right. Yeah, and, you know, Karma is in... is in season right now as far as TCL goes. So
yeah, definitely.
So what are your predictions here? We got about 2 minutes left. I'm excited to see what's going on in your head, Rudy.
You know, I love the Kog'Maw pick from Verd. Do I think he's gonna die like 10 times this game? Yeah, but I still love to see it. I like to see the guy on it. It's gonna be Swords game again. See where he puts his pressure. I just hope Spur can be a bit more proactive this game. I mean, obviously he doesn't win the 1v1 in the jungle, but if he can find something early on that bot lane, like they're not playing the super safe stuff that made people avoid them for the first half this season. It's not on Sen, it's on Kench. It's MF Amumu, which that comp really only goes one direction, right? Like Amumu can't queue out. Well, if there's a mini or something, he can't. But in general, like I just want to see Spurred put some attention bot. They picked a very, very present lane. You know, like Caitlyn, Karma, both lane bullies in their own right. Put them together can be disgusting. So do something with that. You know, don't be satisfied with going up 20 farm in the lane. Get some pressure, get some turrets, get some kills, get some dragons, get a game.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think what the Boomer Bombers bot lane is going to look for is that Karma to overextend trying to get poke into them. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to see a Happy Trundle come out of a couple bushes and just pillar her. The Amumu's going to lock her down, and then IREP's going to go up 2 or 3 kills before mid game, and then the lane's going to be unplayable for Luciv. That's
tell me when IREP is at 3 kills. What's the time?
I'm going to say it'll be at 17 minutes and 30 seconds.
17 minutes. He's going to be 3-0-0. Got it.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to say Luciv gets a kill within 10 minutes of this game happening.
Really?
Yeah. I really think that they can do this. But you're saying the Trundle's going to pop out of bushes. As a support main who's not very good at the entire game, but even the warding parts, I find it personally offensive when the enemy jungler chooses to lane gank me. It's kind of the rudest thing you could do to somebody.
Yeah, and it's hard as a support too, because in the early game, do you put your ward in the river where you think they're going to come, or the odd chance that they run through the lane and sit there for 40 seconds and just catch you off guard, and then that makes you just feel terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm too busy focused on like when's the next cannon coming so I can auto it, because I'm not very good at CSing. I got to focus really hard on like when am I going to get my chance to last hit something, that I don't have time to think about where the jungler is at and stuff like that. Minimap who?
Yeah, that's your jungler's job, right?
Yeah,
you're telling me. You're telling me where you think that the jungler is, so then I can play like a moron.
Exact. You get it.
I can engage and not worry about getting punished. I can stand where I'm not supposed to. I can walk up by myself across mid lane and go get a ward down into Tribush. Like, I can make those plays because I think the jungler's not bot.
And if he is, that's your fault for telling me he wasn't somewhere else, or he could have been bot. Like, can't blame me for that. Okay, exactly. Okay, loading to game here. Quick summoner check across the board. Heal Ignite from the Boomer Bombers bot lane, matched with the Cleanse Ignite from Luciv and Spirit. TJ on the classic TP Ignite for the Camille, because she has so much mobility with that stupid E.
And not to cut you off here, but we're going to see another J-Hook bot lane.
Yeah, cut me off, man. Just wrapping it around. Blood didn't die to it, but Spirit dies a lot, so we'll see what happens. Oh, Spirit, how'd you not see them? Okay. This isn't good. Good pillar by the Trundle. Poked out. There's the Amumu Q over the wall. Onto him. TJ over it as well. Spirit having to flash out. I mean, not the worst in the world. Forces the flash. Definitely worth invade. But you do have Trundle starting pillar, which I can't imagine is what you're supposed to start.
That is not good. He's going to need a lot of help on this leash.
Yeah.
That is such a bad thing for Trundle. He's not going to pick up 3 until after his Wolves, so it just makes his clear that much weaker.
Yeah. So, I mean, you trade away your support's flash, your support who went 0-7 last game. I got to stop harping on that. We love you, Spirit. Hopefully he can play safe, but, I mean, now Swordmaster's thinking, once I do get through this clear, that's a Karma without flash for the next, 4 minutes, because he probably went Cosmic Insight. Where's this? Can I even see his secondary runes? I don't even know. He probably went Cosmic Insight. That's what a lot of people do. It's a great rune. Yeah, he's the stopwatch, so he's Inspiration secondary. Yep.
I'd be curious, Rudy, as a support player in this league, who would you say is where would you put the rankings as far as supports go, and where does Spirit land on it out of 6?
Okay. So the question becomes am I on Rakan or not? Because if I'm on Rakan, I'm top 3. If I'm not, I'm 5 or 6. But generally speaking, I think Spirit started the season top 2 support, and he's been dying a lot recently, and I'd put him down to 3 or 4. I think Swiss and Tactics both are very consistent supports, and when Droid plays a support and not an AD carry, he does a great job on it, right? So I'd probably put Spirit at 4, even though he's the highest rank technically. I don't know. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, you know, I said this from the beginning. You know, I think I'm still going to represent my boy Swiss. I think he's the best support in the league. The guy's just got
Trundle coming down for level 3. Gonna cut you off real fast here. Spirit's super far forward, Droid. You gotta go. Just go on Spirit. He doesn't have Flash. Lucid gonna have to Flash here. Yep, there's the pillar on Spirit. Spirit's dead. Oh, but Lucid flashes in for the first blood. They're still fighting this. Lucid, you don't got any more, though, buddy. Run away. Leave him. He's dead. But either way, they get the first blood, even with the level 3. That means Sejuani's going to be at least, yeah, he's a camp up right now, about to be 2. Great play. A lot of summoners straight in the bot lane. All 4 from the side of Boomer Bombers. And Lucifer still sitting on the cleanse. Manages to flash forward. I guess IREP just got Caitlyn at some point. Maybe walked onto a trap. I don't know. I wasn't watching.
He was just walking way too far up, getting hit by that Caitlyn as Caitlyn was backstepping. I mean, that's just bad positioning.
They had to go all the way down into the bot third of that lane to get to Spirit, and they pretty much ignored Lucifer on the way there, right? Like, they just tunneled really hard on the flashless support. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Trundle just walked past the Caitlyn.
Also, didn't I say Lucifer was going to get a kill pre-10 minutes?
Yeah, and I mentioned something about IREP going 3-0 by 17, so I can go ahead and admit that I'm wrong.
Refer to chat. Just like when we play Double Up, I am always right, and you are wrong. Okay, thank you. I was informed by producer the Spirit doesn't have Cosmic Insight, so ignore everything I said about that. Who cares? He doesn't have Flash right now.
What
That's what
does he have? Enlighten us.
He has Futures Market, which will let him go into debt to buy his boots like 2 seconds earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I love Cosmic Insight. I think it's such a good rune.
I do too.
But
I think the value in it's too good.
Yeah. I mean, playing super aggressively. IREP no Flash. They get a trap onto this edge. He flashes over the wall. Dude, this is exactly what I wanted to see. Get the perfect chain combo. Punish this bot lane. Like, I mean, IREP had a great showing in the Ziggs. We know how good he is on Tahm Kench, but he's perhaps not as comfortable as some of the others on the traditional ADCs. I'm sure he's better than me, but he's not playing against me right now. He's playing against Lucifer. Lucifer's been playing League of Legends for a long time.
And see, this is, you mentioned this too.
Top lane.
And that Trundle's picking up aggro
he
first.
Flash, I forgot I'm supposed to be talking here. Oh, and it's the execute.
Wow.
Everyone flame everybody in chat for that. That's so funny. Blood, I think, messed up his E a little bit. He pulled the Trundle in, but I feel like he could have gotten a stun off there and potentially the kill. Great flash over the Camille E. Hook shot, I think is what it's called, or something silly like that. Yeah, that was just really well played by Blood to get out of there alive, survive the dive. Oh, and a 3-man play into A-Barn at 5.5 minutes. Look at the proactivity, even donating the kill over to their mid laner. I thought Spirit was just inting, but guess what? He had nowhere else to be. That's when you roam as a support, is when your lane is crashing and you don't have to help your bot laner, especially when he's coming back from base. You know what? Heads up, proactive play by Spirit. We put him on something he knows how to play. Look how comfortable he looks.
Yeah, this is this is exciting to see. We're seeing Spurg pick up the tempo. We just saw a ton of plays get made. Blood just tried to solo the Camille, and Blood had a third of his health bar, and ended up having a good trade off of it.
Yeah, I mean, he has those early not ninja tabbies, so plated steel caps, as it were. Doing a good job farming up there. Up a bit of farm again. I don't really know. Top lane waves, freezing, bouncing, whatever. Whoever's up on CS. I don't worry about minions. I'm a support main. I'm just looking for that cannon. Spurg camping right now, though. Is he out of vision? I guess. I don't know. He's just trying to bait him to go in. And if they... Oh, too early. Too early. You got to save it for the hook shot. Oh, didn't manage to knock him out of it. I think if they would have let Blood walk up and just start the trade, TJ might have fought, but it was a pretty big wave. Not sure. Bit of a failed gank there. Spent a lot of time, but he is going to back, and we'll see where he goes next.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see this too because we're seeing the Kog'Maw get some gold. We're going to see him start to scale.
It's going to be a Rise-Port bot lane. Rise-Port bot lane. This is really far forward without flash here. He does have the cleanse. It's not worth it. Just take your death and go. Looking for the kill onto A-Barn. Walks out. IREP gets the shutdown there. A-Barn instantly hits 6, rotates around. Again, I hate to compliment the man so much, but I said in game 1, like, his team makes pretty good macro plays, and this is the only reason he's any good at Rise, is because it lets him make slightly smarter macro plays. But yeah, I mean, a bit of proactivity answered with some proactivity.
Yeah, that's it's exciting to see though. It's exciting to see this Spurg and kind of like what's going on in his head, where he thinks he needs to be, what's going on here, and it looks like Spirit might be confused here.
I mean, what's new? Spirit's very far forward without any support. I guess Spirit is here, but he's going to die before anything happens. Flashes right into the Trundle. That's not what you want to see. Luciv tunneling onto there. Droid insta-cleanses, gets that. Droid's going to drop. Spirit manages to walk away. Are they going to have anything else? Does Sejuani have any CC left in her kit? Gets the E off. Trap auto. Spirit steals the kill. And Blood with the solo kill top lane against TJ. Doesn't even look like he needed the turret. Unless maybe he ulted him on a turret or something. I don't know. I wasn't watching. But a lot of deaths and a dragon started up for the side of the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, this is kind of the gameplay we wanted to see out of this Spurs team. We're seeing Spirit dangle his body. He's on a champion that he's good at. He knows how to play it, and he's running out, and we're even fooling us of, okay, Spirit's going to end here, and all of a sudden they pick up a kill on it. They pick up summoners. It's kind of nice to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we have a second here to breathe, I've been wanting to say this for a couple minutes. I did not mean to snub my boy Lemon in the chats. He's looked great all season. I just put him with myself between like 4 and 5 because it really depends how we're playing. You know, we're not the most consistent in the world, but sometimes we pop off. I remember a nasty Morgana game he had earlier this season, but I also remember a Malphite game he had this season, you know? So no snub intended. Lemon's a homie. He's a G. He's a great support. Shout out the boy.
Yeah, you know, and I feel like you could get in this chat and you could comment on anyone's bad games, right? I've had a bad game.
No. We're casters. We're always right. We don't talk about our bad games. We talk about the bad game in front of us and flaming other people as we feel like it. I've never seen you play a bad game in my life, Calvert. Not that I can remember at least.
That's true. That is very true. And here I'm going to be interested to see how TJ plays from behind, because I don't think he had to do that much.
He definitely was able to abuse a lot of the top laners in this league. I still think like that lane can go either way. It's not like Blood has a full item on him or anything. Like it's going to be a skill matchup, but so far, Blood's a different player this game than he was last game in terms of agency and what he's able to do. But I mean, again, Camille just freaking, that was a second Q for like 200 true damage and just shielded it out because passive shield that adjusts to whatever sort of damage the other person's doing. It's dumb.
Yeah, Camille's kind of a silly champion when you look at her that way, but what's going to be really fun to see is how Blood uses his ult in these team fights. Is he going to take Camille out of her ult and save whoever gets ulted by it? Or is he going to pick up Trundle and slam him into the Rise and the MF? I'm excited to see that.
A lot. I feel like it's just got to be like the Camille, right? Here's an interesting thing. So you know like how when you get Camille ulted, you can't like walk out of the boundary?
Yeah.
Setult's unstoppable. Can she ult Camille out of the boundary thing? Does it work like that?
I'm almost 100% positive that he can. Okay, I would need a set player to confirm.
Okay, cool. I'm a genius. So like that's a pretty cool little interaction counterplay type thing. I think it's just at this point, Luciv's like 2 kills, right? He's going to be scaling here. Just ult the Camille away when he tries to dive in onto your ADC, and then, hey, look, you're in the back line, and we can just front to back this with the Sejuani. The Karma, like, giving shield and shit, and then Luciv and Verd. I'm sorry, we keep saying Verd. It's the Ancient One, formerly known as Verd. Little scuffle in the jungle.
Sword
Camille's going to be on this
smites away
first.
the blue buff.
Oh, did he get it? That's funny.
You got it.
Spurred not in the bestest spot here. Hope he still has Q. Misses the ult. Gets... Flashes just barely. Oh, you gotta get out of there, Spurgy boy. Barely gets out. TJ gonna drop. Abarn does pick up Spurg on the back end. That was a really funny interaction with the Camille ult and the flash that put him like just right over the wall where he couldn't be attacked. Gonna get walked into here, but Verd is there to pick up the kill. Sword stuck between a set and a Kog'Maw. I couldn't think of the clever rock and hard place thing. Irep blowing his ult there, trying to pick up Spirit, but Spirit just walking away. And yeah, this is the Caitlyn pressure that we want to see. With that, I mean, Caitlyn just does Caitlyn things under the turret. Don't go too far forward because Amumu still has his ult, but try to get a plate here. Just poke him out. Use that range.
And there we see the Amumu going in and just not enough. Irep with no mana.
That looked like my Amumu play last night. I'm pretty sure I heard Abarn talk about how I have a 0% win rate on Amumu support this season. I'd just like to say, if we want to talk about every single person on my team who had a 0% win rate on a champion because we didn't win any games, we could do that too instead of flaming my support. It's fine.
You know what, Rudy? I wasn't going to be the first person to say it, but that Amumu that you play is not clean.
I mean, thanks.
What is clean
Do I play
is that Leona that you played in our series. I thought, an
Oh,
IREP with a flash forward.
I for sure thought
Wow.
Spirit had that kill there, but IREP flashes out of the second part of the empowered Karma Q, the Mantra Q. Spurg looking for the gank top lane. Look, TJ hookshot it away. What a fun interactive champion. Thank you for the compliment on me, Leono, but I have decided I'm a Rakan so next season, whoever picks me, I'm playing Rakan every game. Hopefully your ADC can play Xayah, or whatever. Honestly, I don't care. Play Smear, play Nyla, play one of those three, and I'll play support for you. There's my little self-promo.
Rudy, I honestly hope that we get to play on a team together. If it's anything to say, you know, we're 9-1 in duo queue. We're probably like a bajillion and 2 in double up, and here we're gonna see a skirmish in the jungle.
Oh, but Droid was in the wings waiting. Spurg still at his Q, could just get out of there. Lucifer a bit later on the rotation. Nothing much happening, but Set is behind Abarn here. Can he ult him over the wall into his team? Nope, gonna run away. Oh, yes he does. I was wrong again. Gonna be the kill. I really thought Spirit was gonna steal out the Mantra Q. Yeah, I mean, a good reactive play there. Sora on the very aggressive invade, gets his mid laner punished for it, and with that, mid lane down, they have 5 members here. TJ, again, gonna get some free plays, but second Drake gonna be picked up for the side of the San Antonio Spurs. Best name in the league.
Yeah, and, you know, with Abarn on a champion that has no escape other than his ult, it's free money. It's free money for that Set to jump behind him. I'm pretty sure he used Flash there to get behind him because he did get rooted.
Yeah.
And just ult him back into the team. That's, you know, it's free real estate.
Absolutely. That was exactly the play I was looking for. I just didn't think they'd get it. And they instantly run up to the Herald. One thing that I do want to call out every time I see it, because I have not seen it enough this season, we talked about Spirit, Crumple, and Karma, right? I've never seen the man use a Mantra E at a time when it matters. He is too eager to hit that Mantra Q. Like, it's a ton of pressure in lane and does decent damage. But, like, past, like, 15, 20 minutes, please start shielding your team. Please?
Yeah, that's the, you know, the old Seraphine trick is, God, I want to hit that double Q and do some damage, but the double W, it's much better.
Ooh, Spurg in a weird spot, does get out, and they're going to get the Herald because they all rotated over. I don't think you get a second charge here, boys. Nope, just let that drop. You did manage to knock down the first turret of the game, getting that gold, and this is just a different team we see with a much easier to execute comp, clear front line, front to back type play, you know, out of the Boomer Bombers. Spirit with the Mantra Q. Sorry, gonna call that out every time I see it. That's gonna be my mantra tonight, is just looking for the Mantra E.
Yeah, you know, and I would probably look at it too if I was in competition with Spirit for placement on my rankings too. But Spirit's having a good showing tonight. 1-1-6. He's where he needs to be. He's dangling his juicy little body for the enemy jungler in the bot lane, and they're paying for it.
You're telling me it's all a bait. That's what you're saying.
I'm just saying he is really good at baiting. I would say he is master class at baiting.
He is a master baiter. I completely agree.
You know, I wasn't gonna say that because we are on stream, but
it's okay. I'm pretty sure he has a PG-13 on his stream. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, good.
He better, at least when I stream. Okay, Blood going for the 1v1 here. TJ does have his Divine Sunder, so I don't know how scared he needs to be. Loses that trade super hard, so maybe I'm just stupid. Who knows? Spirit with the stopwatch for who the hell knows why. Not me, that's for sure. Abarn's stuck again here. He has flash. Yeah, I was gonna say he could just flash out. I was trying to just like see if he didn't need to, but definitely does. Okay, back to the content I want to talk about. Oh, Luciv killed TJ. That's cool. I like that. I like to see that. Oh, after Blood dies though. Okay, I'm not very good at this whole paying attention thing. As I said, I'm a support main. IREP possibly caught out here. Bird following up, has insane range. Just get the stun there.
Down here.
Yeah, no, he's super dead. Does he have flash?
We see Spurs take it, which is surprising because that Kog'Maw is scaling. He is 3-0-2, 145 farm. I mean, this guy has gold, he's got items, and he just has to sit back and press R.
Yeah, I mean, that top lane play, that's what I was saying. Like, TJ should be able to win these. He does kill Blood pretty close to his turret. My guess is Luciv just cleaned up with ult. But no, we were talking about how I thought Bird was going to die. He's doing great. Like, I mean, he's at his item with the full stack tier. Gonna do a ton of damage, especially if they can keep these fights front to back like we talked about.
Yeah, and I'm curious what he's going to go for second item here. You know, he's got the Ruby Crystal. He's got
the Archangel
Tome. He might just finish that Archangels, yeah.
Oh, Luciv, is he going to get his back off? I don't know. Oh, he didn't stick it. He should have sticked it. That's stuck it, sorry. Luciv's like super dead. That's not good.
And
Giving
I
away
think
a shutdown.
TJ's salivating for that. And Abarn says, you know what? Give me the resources. Abarn
Yeah.
has put the blinders on. He said, okay, guys, this is my game.
Definitely. We do see the finished 2 completed items out of the Rise with the Everfrost. That's not Everfrost. That's a TFT thing. Whatever that item, the mana item's called. Spirit. Getting the root under the turret. That's a pretty decent play. Gonna be able to follow up with a tiny bit of damage. Shade's half his health bar for it, but that's okay. Verd, back to Verd. Doing great. 3-0 on the Cogmog. Up on farm against the Rise. Doesn't have a second item yet. Probably just because of item expense differences. I don't know. I don't buy those items. Actually, I do have a nasty Zera support. You've never seen it, but I'll show it to you sometime if you ask nicely.
I cannot wait for that.
Dude, it's the worst thing you've ever seen. But it's super fun, so it's all good.
And what a lot of people don't know is about your AP Kog'Maw mid is that when he maxes E, that E slaps like a truck, and it is sticky. It slows you so much, and you can't run
we're
backwards.
just going to be shooting that out all night. Look at that shape. Just nice curve at the end of it. Perfectly straight. That's what you want to see. Getting plenty of damage down, doing great. And we talked about IREP's interesting builds. He did go press the attack. So, little scuffle in the top lane, gets the full haymaker thingy onto him. Also straight into the wall to auto animation cancel. Trades his ult there. TJ's gonna walk away half health. More fighting in the bot lane. Really putting my play-by-play to the test tonight. Spirit's going to mantra Q here in a second. I'm positive, if he hasn't already used it. Abarn on the flank might be picked out. Sejuani still has ult. They do prop the Shirelias, looking to run him down. Nope, just going to get wards. Push him back there. Do they have mid-push here, though? Gonna force Verd back. He should be able to wave clear pretty easily with his ult and his E. So no positioning on the Drake at this point, though. All sorts of fights happening. A Mumu ult out, blood in the middle of all of it, trying to stay alive with the lifesteal. Flashes forward to get the haymaker damage on the droid. Not enough, survives. Abarn onto the Kog'Maw, gets out. TJ doing his best to kite the rest of them back. Luciv trying to find a spot in this fight where he can actually auto without dying. Ult onto Spurred. He's gonna die. Swordmaster steps on a trap, gets auto by the Caitlyn. Droid's looking to get back into this no health. TJ doing whatever he wants right now. Sword dropping really low. This is going to be a hard push into the Kog'Maw, who still has like half his mana bar. Man, I don't know how I did there, but let me know in the chat, boys. I'm trying my best. I don't even know how you're supposed to cast these fights. They're going to ult over to the Drake, I guess, just to get positioning and try to start this up. They do have some low health bars, but it is 3v5. Sword blocks that, which is not the best choice as the jungler. Verd might be able to snipe him out here. TJ going on to Verd. Spirit gets the E down. MF ult over the top. Caitlyn rooted up, cleanses out, trying to auto-attack Abarn. Dropping pretty low himself. They do get a TP in. Sets behind on the flank. Ults the Abarn right into the Drake. Gonna get the kill there. Verd picks that one up. IREP doing his best to finish the Dragon. Gets picked up by the blue team. Oh my gosh, there's too much happening. IREP having to flash out. Sword trying to get away with no health in the bot lane. Looks like Seth's gonna run him down, pick up another kill real quick right here. Yeah, he's just gonna die. Gonna try to get something on his way out. Verd picking up another one on the back end. 6-0 on the Kog'Maw. Most farm in the game. What a performance from our standout mid laner, the Ancient.
Yeah, Rudy, and I'll chime in here just so I can let you catch your breath.
Dude, I tried my best. I'm sorry.
A couple great plays there. You know, we saw the trade top that really allowed that set to come down. Unfortunately, he got picked off, but him telling in there changed the entire tempo of this mid game. They picked up 3 kills and a dragon from that telly, and what an amazing ult, bringing Abarn helplessly underneath the dragon. Just a great ult, great play by Blood. You know, started off bad, got picked, and then turned it into a positive for his team.
Yeah, I mean, that was some fun stuff to watch. I'm just yelling stuff as I see it. I don't know what I'm supposed to focus on, but we're doing pretty well. Can we get a quick gold check from the production while we have a second here to calm down? Okay, looks like Blood's ahead by about a K. Jungle's fairly even, 200 difference. Verd, the big standout here, up like 1,500 on his lane opponent. Luciv has about 1,000 in his pocket, and supports, who really cares? They don't need gold, right? That's how it works. 500 difference for the side of Spirit of Fate.
500 gold on Spirit of Fate.
Gold difference.
Gold difference, yeah.
Between his support and him. Or the other support.
And that's not, is that including the money that he went into debt on as well?
Yeah, so it would show negative.
Sorry, I'm just really confused about that. You know, as a player who plays support a lot myself, I've never gone futures market.
Yeah, I haven't either. I don't I don't really know what's the downside. It feels like just an extra 30 gold you get, but that's like all, right? You get an extra 30 gold, but the stats for most of the other things are typically worth more than that. The only thing is you can hit an item breakpoint a tiny bit earlier. I don't actually know how much future market gives you. But we talked about gold. Gold only matters when it's spent. IREP is sitting on a BT currently as his only completed item, which as you're a support main, but you also play ADC competently sometimes, especially on Jhin. Do you ever go BT first item? What's up with that?
I have never gone BT first item, but it does give you a massive shield, and it gives you a lot of defensive stats. It gives you lane sustain, and it's really good against the Karma. So I
go to the jungle fight. They're trying to pick out Sword here when he was rotating up to try to help that. TP in from probably Abarn, I don't know. Oh no, that was the Kog'Maw. Wrong color, not that smart. Abarn kills Luciv somewhere on this fight. Didn't see it on the screen, but they're running away now as 4. Droid could look for a big ult play here if he sees 3. Okay, he gets the 2. They're just going to try to kill them. Blood dropping really low. Tries to ult back. Buys team some space. Bird, he just got the damage. Bird over the top. Trying to do what he can. Not quite enough. Spur going to try to get out here. Spirit of Fate doing his best to get the root and toot down. Out with a sliver of health. That is a 2 for 0 from their side. TJ's not done yet. Picks up the kill. As I said, stupid champion, stupid game, whatever. And they're going to use the Rise port to go over to the Baron. I think they took some of the wave with them. No, just kidding. That would have been funny, though, wouldn't it? What are the minions even do? Just walk to the nearest turret? Probably. Sword dropping super low. If Verd can get in on this and not die to TJ, he has an opportunity to get some kills here. Flash forward from Abarn to get the damage down. Bird doing his best. Can he get some passive value? Question mark. Gonna maybe use the damage. Not quite enough. Maybe Leandre's does pick up on the back end. Forces him off the Baron. Do trade over 2 more kills. Gold lead fairly even at this point. Real bright spot, though, is the 3 Drake up for the side of the Spurs.
Yeah, and the whole point of this is, I saw your team do this a lot, where you go up Dragon, but then you shift the entire tempo of the mid game, where you may go up 3 dragons, you may go up objectives, but all of a sudden you can't contest it for the next 20 minutes because you just let that mid game slip. And right now we're seeing less than a 1k gold lead when we had almost a 2k gold lead at what was it, 9 minutes, 10 minutes,
something like that.
We're seeing this game start to slip.
The Camille might be 3-5, but so much impact. Picked up 2 kills there. Just if she can get onto the squishies, it's really rough. I'm curious how Luciv died to Abarn on the back of that fight. Like, didn't seem like something that should have happened. Spirit, this is not where you want to be. This is how you die, my guy. It's Mantra Q. What's new? Hits the blasting cone into his own team. Good. He knows they're there now. Nice. And yeah, they're setting up for this Drake play here in an undeterminate amount of right now. It's right now that it's happening. Camille and Cog coming over. Kate walking up from the bot lane. Got that pushing. A little bit of trading onto Blood. Got some cooldowns down. TJ staying out of vision right now, so we can probably try to get the flank, because I think they're thinking the same thing we are, right? If TJ gets on the back line, it's free low.
Yep. And here it looks like we're looking at maybe an engage from Spurg. Droid dropping low. Abarn up too far. A good MF ult right there.
Yeah, good over the top. Droid looking to get on Bird. Does manage to do it. Luciv down, but TJ's in his face. They do pick up the kill onto him. Camille ult onto Spirit of Fate. That's good. Could be a lot worse. Abarn doing what he can. Blood bought as much time as he could in the backline, but Bird is caught out. Flashes onto the Trundle. Luciv picks up the shutdown onto the Camille. Verge trying his best to get out. He might be able to if he gets the Karma Shield, getting him out. And I think that's a 3 for 2 when all is said and done. Luciv untouched there. My guess is TJ fat-fingered and ulted Spirit instead of Luciv. Doesn't seem correct, but I've never played Camille game in my life. They might try to start at this Drake. Have no idea what death timers are like. We'll find out here in a second. MF really far forward here. That is so much damage coming out of Luciv. Doesn't have vision. Oh, almost a god tier trap there. Kind of messes it up. I'll flame him for that one later. Spirit shielding himself instead of his ADC is actually going to do damage. Makes sense to me. Luciv, E over the wall. Don't be a little coward. That's the word that I would have normally said. TP behind, though. Sejuani looks like he might be able to respond to it. Respond TP, and probably, I think Bird used to, so that's got to be Blood. Yep. Blood looking to go in here. Probably shouldn't. The entire team. Love me a 5-minute mid-game Drake fight. Droid in it. Don't know if he has his ult. We'll find out. Doing his best to peel back. Ult goes on to IREP. Super low himself. Does get taken down by a elusive headshot. Droid drops as well. They're going on to Abarn right now. Gonna get the CC from the Sejuani. He drops. Triple kill for elusive. Stop chasing sword. There we go. Just get the soul. Camille trying to bully our poor little Verd, Ancient One in the bot lane. Don't know what's happening there. Gets the kill, but gets the return. Best case scenario in that case. Gonna be able to run here, and maybe if that timer's long enough, they can run up to the top lane and look for Baron. Who knows? Not me. Probably wouldn't get greedy here, but I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what Irip was doing there. It looked like maybe he was confused that his champion had a sword or something, because he was walking into melee range. That fight.
Yeah, Sword trying to get the crab to buy some time for his team, but maybe a bit too greedy. Is he going to be able to get out here? Nope, doesn't look like he will. He's going to drop, which gives them even more time on this Baron with the jungler dead. They will have 5. Where's their 5th one? Is he still dead as well? I don't know. Rise, Mummy, and MF running from base to try to defend this. Who knows what's going to happen? I'll let you talk if you want to. I'm getting kind of tired.
Yeah, I was gonna kind of let you tire yourself out so I could chime in here.
Bro, I'm supposed to be play-by-playing. That's what I'm doing.
You're doing a great job. And that's what I was looking for, that MF ult, to see if it can slow this down, but it doesn't.
Oh my gosh, the Haymaker from Blood, so much damage. Abarn solo gets out, but Spur, he's at 2 HP. It's okay, Cog picks this up. Oh, wait, the Spur killed that with the ult? Did Spur kill that with the ult? Who got the kill there? Spur did. He ulted to kill instead of giving it to the Kog'Maw. What a greedy little player.
What a legend. I mean,
yeah,
he does the fade away, I'm going to dash away from you so you can't hit me, and I'm going to hit you with a fade away ult.
Yeah, I mean, honestly.
I think Joa would be jealous if he could see how to hit a Sejuani ult.
Yeah, this is a fun game. A lot of action this time, back and forth. The gold lead at this point, it's going to be 7K here in a second in the favor of the San Antonio Spurgers, up 11 kills with the Soul. They are in a position to, win this game. I definitely wouldn't say throw there. I've never seen a team throw this type of lead, especially not in a game 2. Definitely didn't happen to me last night, right?
Definitely not. Yeah, it seems right now, if they play their cards right, they have Air Soul, which isn't the best, but it helps the Kog'Maw. That Kog'Maw has Air Soul up all the time. Yeah,
it's because it's procs when you cast your ult, right? Get the move seed and see the ER and stuff.
And I'm not sure the cooldown on it. I want to say it's a 15-second cooldown where you don't get it 100% of the time as Kog'Maw.
Sure, but you're still getting it a lot of value.
Production, can you confirm that? Is there a tooltip where you can hover over that gives you the cooldown?
The soul? I don't know how that works. It's okay. Somebody in chat will tell us if we're wrong. That's how it really works, right?
What you keep saying chat. Is there a chat?
I'm looking at Twitch chat. I have that open too.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. Sorry, we got a noob on the cast tonight, but brought on the A team for the playoff cast. That's what we got going on here. Spirit super far forward, gets his words down without dying. So Calbert, tell me, if you were the San Antonio Spurs, how would you close out this game?
Push your side lanes, get your side lanes up. Aim for a pick. I sacrifice one person to grab 2, and then I win the game. I don't even play around trying to get these outside inhibs. I think Abarn's team's looking for a fight here. You win the fight, win the game.
Yeah, they still have Baron. They're pushing with it, doing their best, letting Lusa. Lusa's massive right now. He's at 4 items with a rapid fire cannon. Bird just pulled trig with ult. Lusa trying his best to kite back. MF ult gets a pretty decent amount of value onto his Spurger there. Big Haymaker again. That's half of Abarn's health bar. TJ ult onto him, locks him down. That is a 1-for-1 support for top laner, but it's still going. The Kog'Maw just raining fire over the top. Ult from Luciv, just pushing the jungler back a little bit more, and with that, they might be able to push in here, get the turret. Again, Luciv, 4 items, RFC, doing so much damage from a distance, and the Winions doing some damage to that Nexus turret as well.
Yeah.
Also, I think... good call out, Lemon. Mantra Q from Spirit, from Spirit. Definitely the right choice in the 5v5 team fight.
That's a lot of damage. Look at his build.
That's like 200 damage, you're right.
Here it looks like we're going to see the Nexus fall, and we are going to go into game 3, 1-1.
Bit flat there on the ending, but what a hype one. Actually, they're trying to defend. Royd down from half HP. Luciv flashing forward to get the last one onto TJ. So we're trying to do what he can, but just commanding performance. He's going to, just auto the Nexus once. Stop hitting Abarn. That's just kind of rude at this point. And yeah, that brings our series to 1-1. We have our first contended series of the playoffs. Yeah, I think the first 2 games are both 3-0s, right? The first 3 games?
No. My game was 3-1.
Oh, you're right. You guys got that one because we paused and you guys got 2 free bans or something silly like that. I don't remember it. It happened a long time ago.
Yeah. Exciting game 2.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm happy that Spurg's team picked that up, but I'm kind of sad. I was hoping for a 3-0 so I could get some double up in tonight before my bedtime.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so we're gonna load in here, get a quick view of those damage graphs. 1, 3, and 23. Spirit definitely bouncing back on the karma, looking much better. 17, 3, and 6 from Luciv. What a showing. Let's take a look at those damage graphs, and I think it might be Verd topping those. I don't know. It's gonna be a lot of damage. Yeah, Verd topping those damage charts. He just pumped out so much from range.
Yeah, and I think Luciv played a really good game. It's nice to see him on Caitlyn and actually be able to do some damage. I feel like Verd had to have done a ton of damage.
Yeah, I mean, he most damage in the game at 36k in 31 minutes. Definitely not the stomp we saw game 1. Bit of a roller coaster of a gold graph there, but all in all, super fun game 2. We have ourselves a series, everybody. Settle in. Not going to be a 3-0 night. No double up for us. Actually, think we could play double up while we cast? Nah, probably not.
I think it'd be entertaining.
We'll cast that too. We'll have a dual cast going on. But no, everybody stick around. Game 3 coming right up. San Antonio Spurs versus the Boomer Bombers in the TCL semifinals. Welcome back, everybody, to the TCL semifinals, the most exciting League of Legends content you'll find on this specific Twitch stream. I am joined, as always, by my buddy Calbert here on the cast, and we also have a special guest star with us. Who is that behind you? Tell us about him.
Yeah, so this is Jax. He is a corgi. He was raised by a cat, so he actually lays like a cat on my couch, and you can see his portrait.
That is the cutest thing I've seen today.
Right up here, actually. To my right, we got his portrait, and then, my cat might make a guest appearance here as well. So
incredible. Looks like he's not one for fame. He's a shy one. Walks away, but that's okay. Now we get to talk about League of Legends again. So as we get ready to load into Game 3, what are your thoughts? What do the teams do? Do the Boomerangers need to make adjustments? Do they just have a bad game? We saw a lot more proactivity out of Spurg and a bot lane focus, which is exactly what we wanted. And also Blood didn't fall super far behind. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, if I'm if I'm TJ, it's upsetting because he may have been down kills and he may have been down some money, but he played a really good game still, even from quote unquote behind. I think Spurg needs to keep up the tempo. He needs to play a take engage, and he needs to get his other laners ahead. I think he has faith in the Ancient One. I think he's got faith in Luciv. And Blood's been a staple of the team, so I feel like Spurg just needs to play the tank. He needs to engage. Who cares if they pick Trundle? I don't think it was that impactful.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Absolutely. I mean, we're seeing the same bands for the first 2-3 coming out here. I agree with a lot of what you said. Again, we talked about it in the pick ban for the last one, but Sejuani might not be the most fun, but he's 4-0 on his last 5 games, his last 4 Sejuani games. He's won every single one of them. Looks great on the champion. Works really well with the team. And it seems like the other side agrees with the Sejuani ban coming out. Bit of a draft change. Gonna make Spurg play something else that he doesn't look like a complete god on.
Yeah, and I'd be excited here if they leave Mort open to see that first pick go on to be the Mordekaiser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that can be flexed either way. But I feel like Spurg playing that, he's so comfortable on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it also helped a little bit, like make TJ choose a bit more. Well, I guess he wouldn't have to because he's going to be last pick no matter what. Same 3 bans coming out from the other side. Oh, pinching Spurg so much to jungle bans, so they have to drop the Mordekaiser, and then it was Ziggs, and then before that it was Zillion. So a lot of picks open for them, but they might just take the Ziggs away right away and force Syrup to play an ADC again.
Yeah, that's it's an interesting strategy, and I actually really like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like you just got to pick something, or you got to make sure that Ziggs doesn't get punished, right? And responding with the steal by taking one of the other Spirit, as we said, much better game 2 in the Karma than he looked on Maokai game 1. Gonna put that in Droid's capable hands. I think when I knew him back in season 1, he was like Lulu, Enchanter, like not one trick, but like definitely focused on the... They're just taking all of their mains, Karma and Ezreal locked in. As we all know, Luciv, despite looking okay on Tristana last week and semi-decent on Caitlyn last game, is absolutely an Ezreal one trick. So yeah, locking that in for their bot lane. How do you respond?
Yeah, we're seeing a bot lane that has more ability to escape. We're seeing a lot of poke coming out from them. I'd be interested to see how Luciv and Spirit respond.
How would you respond?
Lucian Nami, I'm going to be upfront in your face and punish you.
Yeah. I mean, definitely plays Lucian. We have a bit of a client bug at the moment, everybody. So if you don't see the picks, we don't either. So just stay patient. Spirit definitely plays Nami. Yeah, I think that's a great call.
Yeah.
How well does Lucian scale nowadays?
He doesn't scale that well, but you play for the lane win, you play for the early objectives, and you put, Ziggs on your mid laner, so hopefully your late game fights, you're fighting half-health champions, and that's kind of how you play it.
Okay, interesting. So we absolutely do not have a connection to Champ Select right now. It looks like our client just closed. I have no idea how this affects our game, or how it affects the stream. We'll figure it out. Music, do your best on Prod, buddy. We got faith in you. As you know, League of Legends, perfect game run by a bunch of geniuses, 200 years of game developing experience over there. Client just crashed. Nothing we can do about that. We'll figure out what the picks are when we load into game, probably. Okay, so Lucian Nami, what do you pick if you're Abarn? What do you pick into the Ziggs?
If I'm Abarn, I pick something aggressive. What I would want from him is something that he can really punish that Ziggs on. Mm-hmm. Go in, fight him, contest objectives. I want to see Abarn having the ability to roam, and that Ziggs thinking twice before he leaves the lane.
Yeah, definitely. But what does that look like? What is the aggressive champion from Abarn that lets him roam?
I would love to see like a Yone out of him. I didn't see, was Irelia banned?
Irelia was banned. That's banned
Irelia
number 1 for each time. Yeah.
What I don't want to see is the Rise, because I feel like he takes too long to get spun up, and we don't really get to see Abarn's brain in the first 20 minutes. I feel like Abarn makes some really good plays. I feel like we really don't get to see that.
I mean, we saw him look pretty good on the Azir game 1. Not necessarily like a bully. Like I feel like Ziggs is gonna do fine into the push there, but yeah, could be okay. Could be okay.
Yeah, Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. You know, sitting here theory crafting mid laners, I really don't know Abarn's pool, but I would like to
Okay.
see something aggressive.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I you talk for like 10 seconds here. I'm gonna go look at what they're picking and be back so we have something to talk about. Just kidding. We're back into Champ Select music. The goat looks like we just reloaded the lobby because it crashed. It looks like yeah, they picked stuff, restarting it right now. Bear with us, everybody. Um, they got to their second round of bans, so we probably saw a bot lane locked in for the side of the Spurgs. We will obviously repeat everything that we saw right there up until the point that they had to exit the lobby. So yeah, bear with us a moment as I vamp about things that don't matter. I ate a lot of candy at work today. It was Halloween, and one of my coworkers made some pumpkin spice cupcakes. And you know what's better to eat at 7 a.m. than a pumpkin spice cupcake?
Hey, music, make sure you go down to spectate here so we can get this lobby started.
Yeah, music. Get in spectate. Yeah, I mean Halloween. This is what better way to ring in the All Hallows Eve than watching a bunch of people die on the Rift.
Yeah, and I was actually gonna make a comment on that spooky Trundle skin that we saw. I really liked how the pillar looked in game, how his alt looked. I think that was an interesting skin that I haven't seen on the Rift.
Yeah, I'm super into the new Nautilus skin that came out. I don't remember what it's called, but the hook it's like a really gothic thing, like a lot of like crossing branches and really high def, unlike any other Nautilus skin because they're all crappy and old. So yeah, a lot of fun content coming out from Riot, trying to get our money for this free game.
Yeah, as my fiance calls it, costumes for your characters. That's what
Costumes for
we
your
spend money on.
characters. That is the most appropriate thing you could have said on Halloween. I love it.
Yeah.
We're speedrunning the first round of pick ban, as we said, because we know what everyone's locking in. Going to be the exact same across the board. We're going to see the Ziggs, and then the Karma, and then the Ezreal, and then we'll find out from there. We'll have plenty of things to talk about.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this champion select. I'd like to see, another aggressive jungler for Spurg here. This is where we were left high and dry, so let's
So we're
see.
about to get new content, everybody.
Oh, there's the Lucian. And
Lucian and are you a genius? Did you predict it? Nami. Okay, seems like you are just the smartest person who's ever been casted or who's ever done casting for DCL.
yeah, it's really easy to predict when they go such a passive lane that's like, yeah, we're just going to sit back and poke you. You can either try to outpoke them, or you can say, you know what, I'm going to put my big boy pants on, and I'm going to have my little girl Nami run behind me, and I'm going to murder you.
And I'm
I
sure
think
Lucian's all for that.
I've seen Luciv play this lane before. He's played it against me, I believe twice. He played it against me. Fortunately, I have the better support. We 2-0'd them. But
Of
yeah,
course,
it's
of
just
course.
yeah, the Lucian Nami spooky, especially if Lucian gets a solo kill.
Yeah, it makes sense. Do you see the Zac lock in for Sword? That's like a very classic Sword champion. He's played it a lot. Obviously this season we've seen a lot of like
There it
AD
is.
assassins burners. Did you just call this? Oh, not quite.
Yeah, I said I'd
Very
like
close,
to see the
though.
Yone.
Very close.
The Yasuo is basically the same thing. We have the aggressive mid laner playing into that Ziggs. This is perfect.
Yeah.
And then here we just need an engage bruiser top. So Set would be good. It looks like Darius made it through. I'd love to see blood on Darius.
Yeah, this would have been a pretty cool Wukong game.
Yep.
But obviously banned away.
There's the Trundle in the jungle.
How do you feel about that for the Spurger?
I feel like they're lacking engage right now because I feel like we're not going to see a Maokai top as much as I'd love to see it. I feel like we're gonna.
Let's do the Shen.
I don't think he plays Shen. I think we'd see Gangplank or Darius here. Gangplank's less counterable, and Darius is really good for the team comp. So
yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll find out here in 1 second what he does end up. Oh my gosh, it's blood on Malphite, everybody. Who saw this coming?
Wow.
I guess he's playing for the comp. As you said, they needed engage.
Yeah, that's surprising. Why not Ornn though? Ornn does everything Malphite does, just better.
Yes, so much better.
And he gives your team horn items, and music's in here. He's on production, but he's kind of an horn master.
Is it a Silas top?
He said, yeah, Silas is a huge counter. Not only that, Malphite brings that massive ult, that game-changing ult, but guess what? So does Silas now.
Yeah,
so
he does. If I'm Ziggs, I'm terrified right now.
Absolutely. They needed the AP. That was just... I feel like the Malphite was like, I dare you to play Gwen. Like, I will smash you if you play Gwen.
Yeah.
And then TJ's like, you know what? He's like, my champion pool's so deep, I'll pull up my mid champion pool and I'll beat you on that.
Yeah, I mean, not only do they get like it's just the Malphite ult complement the Yasuo, they just gave Abarn like the freest engage combo. I feel like they just got severely outdrafted.
Yeah. If I'm Spurg going into this, I am killing Yasuo on repeat. I'm killing Yasuo on repeat. I'm there when he hits level 2. I'm level 2. I'm blowing his flash. I'm coming back after I get my blue buff, and I'm going to try to kill him. And hopefully the Ancient One isn't dead by then. And I am just constantly up Abarn's butt. I'm not letting him get ahead in farm. I'm not letting him roam. I'm constantly putting pressure. If Spurg, I'm prioritizing Rift Herald because I want to break that mid tower. And I want to free up Ziggs to get those outer towers, because if they let them play a team fight comp, I feel like with the Silas and the Zac, it's over.
Yeah, I mean they definitely have the team fighting edge here. It's really going to be on Sword to see what he can do to make sure, because if they're even coming out of lane, they should crush, right? Like one good Silas ult, one good Zac engage, and Ziggs is dead with the Silas in your backline on top of your Lucian. So what do you even do, right?
Yeah, and the other thing to note too is that Silas can also grab Nami ult, and that is a bigger area of effect knockup.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
And it's kind of exciting to see that, because Silas players, you can only grab one ult. I don't know if it's every like 2 minutes or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to alternate usually, and it's like grab the Malphite, win the team fight, grab the Nami, win the next team fight, grab the Malphite, and then in between you can just grab a Ziggs ult and just nuke the entire team if you want.
Sure.
It's there's a lot of possibilities. I'll be curious to see how well TJ plays it.
Yeah, I mean, not without the outplay potential, right? I completely agree. It's like if Yasuo's there to be able to like follow up on those big knockups that Silas is. I mean, we're talking about the Silas with the knockups. Zac also has like 3 in his kit as well. It's not like they're completely dependent on Silas. A lot of options for Abarn to go in with this comp. So if he's, as I said, even coming out of lane, it gets very scary for them as they fight through the mid game. Lucian, Nami, you gotta use that lane for something and make sure that it's like a 3v5 going into those fights. That IREP and Karma, IREP and Droid are just completely out of it as much as possible.
Yeah, if I'm Luciv and Spirit, what I'm looking for is, does that Zac show anywhere else on the map? And if they do, it's balls to the wall. I'm going in on Droid. I'm making IREP defensively E, and then I'm just extending as far as I can down lane without giving up too much of my health bar. And I'm constantly shoving it down their throat. I'm making Ezreal farm under tower. I'm making Karma help him. I'm making them uncomfortable, because we know as soon as they step up that a gank is coming or that Zac is positioning. And that helps your team so much, because you can telegraph the bot lane ganks. And if they fail a gank, Zac is so far away from anything else. They can get that Herald. They can start putting pressure on mid, and they don't have to worry about Zac flying in from 30 meters away.
Yeah, so you gotta not play scared of the potential and just push back that potential wombo as far as possible. Like, get those leads where you can. Obviously, they have the strong lane bot lane. I don't think Blood's gonna have fun in his matchup, but see what you can do on the rest of the map. We're in the loading screen now. Got that stream delay over. We can take a quick look at summoner spells. We have the TP advantage for the Ziggs. Obviously, Abarn went the Ignite. Going to try his best to get them kills. And heal Exhaust from the bot lane on the side of TBB. And another pause. Again, strategically trying to tilt your enemies. It's so
let me jump into this, because I feel like I am...
Yeah, give me your pause breakdown.
Pause analysis master here. I just want to say that CC did this coming into their first playoff game, and not only did it work to perfection. You should have been in my team's comms. I mean, raging.
guys tilt out
Why
your
would they do
minds?
this? I mean, we pulled out the rule book and we said, they broke this rule. That's a free win for us. Like, don't sacrifice anything but 2 kills bot. And luckily we came out of it with like 1 kill, and you were supposed to back, but you didn't.
Okay, nobody told me I was supposed to back. I was just told to walk away.
Yeah, so
Like,
that was.
I saw it was typed in chat. To be fair,
Yeah.
I didn't cheat intentionally. I hope you know.
Yeah,
Nobody told me I was supposed to back.
And
that's
we're
on
back
Bully
in
for not
games,
communicating.
so I'll get off the
clearly.
soapbox here, but you were supposed to back. You didn't. You guys won that game, I believe.
No,
Should
you're right. We did. Yeah, you guys.
We
won
should
game
go
3.
back and replay that series, but I'll get off my soapbox. We can.
So if we replay that series, we also have to replay last night's series, and A-Barn is not the most accommodating when it comes to scheduling conflicts, as people may. He does his best. I'm not trying to flame the commissioner right now. He does a good job putting this all together for us. But yes, to defend myself and throw the rest of my team under the bus, I was not told to back. I was told to walk away, which is what I did.
Yeah, that's okay. What I would really like to see next season is maybe A-Barn being a little bit more tough on the rules and maybe a little bit more consistent. We've seen a lack of consistency, kind of just.
Yeah, I mean,
climb
culture
up
starts
and
from the top down, right?
It does. It really does.
So no invade here, but it looks like they might walk in as 3 to just trying to push them out, get a ward down, make sure they can track that trundle early. Spurt. Okay, respectfully dancing in the mid lane. Can we watch the dance party? No, that's fine. Yeah, there we go. Everyone dancing. Luciv, auto. Luciv, don't be a good person. Just auto him. Luciv, you see, I don't have that much honor. I absolutely would have done some shenanigans there.
Yeah, and this just goes back to, this is a beer league. The whole point of this is to have fun, and it's seeing the teams dance in the middle. It just makes me happy, right? And I wish we could read chat, because I'm sure it's all butterflies and roses right now.
Yeah, I mean, very, very balanced players all around. Like, Luciv and TJ are known for their calm, level heads. I'm sure they're
honestly,
here just to have a good time.
My conversations with Luciv have been nothing but positive interactions. He has never flamed anyone. He definitely hasn't.
Okay,
told me
wait,
how
real
he
fast.
felt about
I
Spirit.
can read all chat. Spirit said it's great vibes all around, and said, but I didn't trust Luciv, and Luciv typed back, I wouldn't either. So you were right.
Yeah, I know I'm right. And obviously, I'm joking. I think Luciv is, one of the most fun players to talk to, just because he's not afraid to be toxic, and I feel like he's not afraid to be himself.
I agree that I've roomed with that guy for a couple of years in college, and he is unabashedly the most confident man I've ever met. He knows who he is, and he's completely okay with it, and also he thinks he's better than you, but in a good way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I love talking to people when they think that they're better than me, or when they know that they're better than me. It's usually a positive interaction.
You see, I'm the exact opposite. I have very low confidence, so normally if people think they're better than me, I do too, but it's all good.
So, Rudy, out of the two of us, who's the better TFT player in our double-up team?
Oh, on our double-up team? It depends. What comp am I going? If I'm trying to go Dragon's Cap Horde, it's you. If I'm going anything that I actually know how to play, I feel like I do a pretty good job. I feel like I give you 1 augment a game. Am I wrong? It feels like that sometimes. Spurg level.
It feels like that.
I can think of multiple games this weekend where I literally just sent you an emblem from a tome, or just handed away my entire early game. But you know what? We got dubs
this week.
Yeah, I was gonna say we mostly got dubs those games, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, and here we saw that Spurg poke his head mid. And that's exactly what I wanted to see. Was
A-Barn went super aggressive there. You gotta give your mid laner some space.
But you have to. You have to, as A-Barn. You have to push that lead. You have to make Ziggs uncomfortable. You can't just let him free farm, because then it does exactly what
you're going to get poked out. I think Ziggs is fine with A-Barn dancing through the wave. It's going to push. Pretty understandable early push in the bot lane. Spurg using that pressure to go ahead and secure bot scud for himself. Did full clear his way down there. Little just trade off of those scuttles, and Zach looking for the gank. Level 3 elastic slingshot, not the longest. Verd walking forward at the worst time. Doesn't have his satchel charge. Okay, I was going to say, if that Zach Q doesn't break, that's just disgusting and shouldn't be allowed to happen. But yeah, a little failed gank there. Verd gets away, having to flash out because he threw his satchel on the wave. It's okay. Gonna look for the repeat from Swordmaster there very shortly, as that's a super vulnerable ancient guy.
Yeah, and I think that would have been really interesting if that Zach E would have landed. and we would have saw that Q land as well. I think that would have been first blood onto A-Barn, and I think the doom starts to set in when that happens.
The doom sets in at 3 minutes. Yeah, I mean, against this team comp, I'm not arguing it. Very early TP out of blood, being forced out of lane. Does only manage to pick up the tier and boots, so not a lot in the way of combat stats, but trading super heavily. He might, okay, doesn't want to trade his flash into it. TJ gonna be forced to back and TP himself, but backing right in his face. There's no way Blood lets him get that off, but it's gonna be a bait from TJ as Sword's looking to gank this. Is Blood gonna die here? Probably. I don't know. I'm no math magician, but I don't like how these odds are stacking up. Yeah, I mean, in the top lane, there it is. Insta flash, still has Xing used on TJ. Kinda seems like he was expecting it. Pretty predictable. Elusive dashing forward again. You said when you see the Zac, you gotta go in. They're doing just that. Good Karma Q, empowered Mantra Q. See, that's when you use the Mantra Q. It's like, you know, you only guarantee the damage on the second part. It's fine. And A-Barn on top of her just trades all around. Spicy. Ooh, little satchel charge into the wave. Definitely winning that trade. Sword looking for the repeat of Verd steps back up. Does not have the satchel charge. So clearly just use it to outplay the heck out of A-Barn. Kicking his butt. And yeah, spicy lanes all around.
Yeah, and you know, the only reason I know, ooh, looks like we might get a Zac engage here. Might get a Q to land. There it is. Not far enough.
Setting up a bit of a tent in the mid lane. But what were you saying?
The only reason I know a lot of the stuff about bot lane before the season was just playing so much with Swiss. The dude's just a wealth of knowledge about all the matchups and what to do and when to do it. So I feel like I learned a ton.
Oh, 4-man bot. Let's get there. 4-man bot. What's happening? First blood onto Luciv. Yeah, they're both
First
dead.
blood onto A-Barn.
Yeah, I mean Luciv died first, sorry. That's what I meant to say. But Spur gonna respond top lane. TJ, no flash. Should definitely go down here. Traded the Malphite ult. Does hit 6, but doesn't have time to use it. Would have been kind of sick if he, like, insta-leveled the ult and or stole Bloods and ulted up. But nope, he dies instead. Not the mechanical player he thinks he is. Again, I feel like A-Barn's gone bot at 6 every single game. At some point they got to predict it, but successful 2 kills bot lane turned into a Drake.
Yeah, and if you're Bird right now, you're just kind of upset because you're like, I'm going even in farm, I'm not dying. All of a sudden, A-Barn disappears. He gets 2 kills. They pick up Dragon. He gets to get a CS lead, and then he doesn't even have to spend his gold right now, and he is sitting very nice.
Yeah, not what you want to see. I mean, Lucian was smacking that lane like A-Barn or IREP had no HP, no mana to do anything there. But great gank out of Sword and A-Barn. They do use the A-Barn ult, as we said, when you get the, or sorry, the Yasuo ult when you get the double nuke up. It's just so free. Spurg hovering around mid lane right now. A-Barn's ult just came back up, so he's probably looking for a solo kill. Spirit also coming up on this. Does not have level 6, and almost tidal wave coming out. Ooh, Bird ult hits. Ooh, ults onto Spirit, flashes away. Does get Spirit's ignite. Spurg flashes after ults. That's a lot of burning. It's gonna go take him down. Shut down onto the Trundle. A-Barn, bad. Pretty sure that's a meme. We need emos for the Twitch channel. And they're invading onto Spirit here. Luciv steals the Krug away. They're going to... Okay, flash out of Sword. He's out of there now. Does have passive, but they're in a little bit of a sus spot at the moment. Nah, Droid's going to have to back off here, or he's going to be in a 2v1. Luciv's going to just, like, start autoing him a lot, but Sword's looking for the re-engage. Has 6 now. They are in a 2v3. Great bubble from Spirit. Do manage to proc the pop. Oh my gosh, so sorry. Proc the passive. Luciv, yeah, gotta get out of there. He's going to be back up, but Spurt coming in. Oh, are they going to get... Oh, Luciv slays Swordmaster. IREP hit 6, but doesn't have mana for anything else. Gonna go down. Spurg's there to tax the wave. He did so much at that moment. Gotta get that farm, you know.
What I'm seeing right here is maybe it's IREP being IREP, but you have...
Dark Harvest Ezreal.
Dark Harvest Ezreal, who hadn't backed yet, and had no mana. I mean, what are you doing? Like, why... If I'm Sword, I'm not ganking your lane. You're so weak. You are a cannon minion. You have no mana on Ezreal. Like, what are you doing to help?
Not much. That's for sure. Luciv gonna use 6, just clear the wave here, try to push it back in, get that cannon under. Blood looking for maybe an alt play mid. Do they have anyone in the area? Probably not, because Bird's not back to lane yet. In a weird spot himself, does get spotted out by A-Barn. What do you think of the lane state? Luciv, because he stuck around to get that extra poke in that turret, is going to have a real scuffed back timer here.
Yeah, hopefully they punish him for it. I feel like that was just kind of greedy. A-Barn, I feel like maybe should probably play a little bit more passive till Zac's in the mid area, just so he can respond to ganks.
Yeah.
Going even in farm on the Yasuo, totally fine. He scales as much as Ziggs. I'm
Yeah,
looking here at top lane. TJ looks like he's having a rough time.
Which
and
is
he shouldn't be.
surprising. Yeah. I wouldn't think, but Zach's here to gank. They do have both ults available. Gonna be a lot of knockups, but Blood's able to just walk it off. Doesn't even have to ult out. Another failed gank from Sword. It's okay. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott, classic. They might, nope, no looks on the Herald yet. Supports and ADCs both still in the bot lane, so if we do see something that's going to be a 3v3, Scuttle picked up for Spurg, and they've definitely come back from that early 2-0 start. Oh wait, just kidding. Scuttle not picked up by Spurg. Spurg left Scuttle. I don't know what's happening. You tell me what's happening.
Yeah, honestly, it looks like TJ's just saying, hey, I got Malfault. You want to kill this guy? Yep, let's dive him under tower. Perfect, sounds good. Sword says, I'm coming too. There it is. Abarn's not close enough, but it looks like they're going to pick it up anyway.
Yeah, I mean, good
Abarn,
attempt
we're
on
not
the
going to wait
flash
for
out.
you. We're just going to kill him.
They might be able to re-engage here, though. It's going to be 2v3. Nope, not going to... Maybe... Yeah, don't go for this. This isn't good. This is bad. Blood, don't die here. There's the Abarn ult. Malphite ult gets 2, but they're not under turret. Forced to ult just to walk away. Sword's going to pull him back in. TJ going under turret for that. Will pay for it with his life. Trades 1 for 1 there. Sword doing his best. TP coming in from the Ziggs. Probably not enough damage on his ult if it's up, and he even hits him with the center. Not
I'd
gonna
like to
kill the
see Spurg go aggressive for that rift here, but it looks like he wants to posture towards Dragon. It feels bad when you go down 0-2 Drags, and you only get a rift out of it.
It depends how you use the rift, right? Like if you get it before 15 minutes, you get 3 plates. Like that's a decent chunk of gold that hopefully can make up for the dragons later. But personally, as a player, I like the guaranteed. You know, it's like if I get rift and it's worth either like 200 or 500 gold, I'll take the dragon that's going to be buffed for the rest of the game every time.
Right.
But I'm not a good player, so. Okay, what are the next moves for these teams as we get into our mid game here?
Honestly, it's kind of hard to tell. I'd like to see some more attention on this bot lane, but it looks like they're just playing passive on IREP and Karma, so I really don't know how much you can do there. I'd like to see a deep ward from Spirit, because I feel like we're not going to see that Zach when he gets set up.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
okay, so there's a pretty good ward. I don't think that ward actually sees where Zach can jump from over by Tri. So I'd like to see that Tri-Bush warded.
Oh, you're talking for the lane more. Yeah, I agree. They do get the Drake pickup here, which is exactly what they wanted. No visions from the red side there. They likely knew it was happening, but instead Abarn's making a play mid. Lucid is here, probably going to pick up the kill in the back end.
And he misses the
Spirit
Q.
gets... Oh, hey, he got the kill, and his support didn't die.
No, Abarn, I believe, missed that Q for the execute.
And this should be first turret here with Zig Satchel, right? Yeah, definitely.
First turret, and it looks like they're going to roam over to Rift as well, is what I would assume.
You know, I flamed Spirit for his mantra Qs, but he hit them. No flame droid, just kidding. I've only seen you miss one. Except for 2. I saw one earlier. It's fine. Little fancy footwork from Blood up in the top lane as we do a little tradey trade. Spurg is on this. Don't stop for the ward. Your mid lane or your top laner's ulted. It's fine. It's fine. They're back.
We're gonna see. Yep, there is the
a good flash out of Blood. Blood getting one last Q. That's about all he has. A lot of tank stats stolen away. Zach in on this as well. Droid's here. Bad looks for the blue team. They are not in a great spot.
There's
Blood
TJ
also
going
gonna
on a
die,
Malphite.
walking back in. Not sure if that's what you wanted to do. You don't have any heal cut right now, and that Silas. Like the healing off his, I think he gets it from his E, ludicrous at times. I'm not saying they lost that because Spurg stopped to take a ward, but it didn't help.
Yeah, it looked like a lack of communication. Blood was just like, hey, I'm going to set this up.